We're going to talk about Dice in a second here, but we got Jim Jefferies back in studio. He's got a big run at Caroline's here in New York City, and the first show went real well last night.
It was a very good show, yeah.
Very good, and he'll be there for the rest of the weekend. 212-757-4100.
Don't want to miss that.
No, we played Dice Dice Baby because we learned our old friend Andrew Dice Clay just got married.
He's hitched.
He's hitched.
Again.
Yes.
Glutton for punishment.
And he went on George Lopez to tell the world he's a married man. No.
He's doing Vegas at the moment, isn't he? I was in Vegas. There's heaps of billboards for him.
Yeah,
he's doing the Hilton, yeah.
Oh, Kenny takes
Kenny, he's doing the Hilton?
He still knows.
Yeah.
He just got a long-term deal at the Hilton.
Oh. Long-term deal at the Hilton for Andrew Dice Clay.
Wow.
Things are looking up for Dice.
I used to stay at a hotel with him. It was the Elvis Hilton. It was the same way Elvis used to walk down. It was actually pretty cool to walk down that corridor where Presley used to go.
Oh, he still does. He's alive.
It's going to be an extra. He's going to be an extra in Dice's show.
I think I found Elvis's hat. No one found it.
But Dice is going to be on the show next week, I think. Next week he'll be here for a day. Hopefully just a day.
Oh, my God, I know.
Hopefully just a day.
Dice in small doses. That's how you need him.
And by the way, that doesn't come from me. Ann started that one. Ann hopes for a day.
Just a day?
Yes.
Because when he goes, I'll be in tomorrow.
Right.
You're like, oh, no. That's 2 shows in a row that we can't get a word in.
Yeah, it pretty much turns into the Dice show.
Dice show.
I thought I was listening to Opie and Anthony. They must be on vacation.
Yeah.
So he went on Lopez yesterday, and I hear his new woman's very lovely.
She is.
Last time he
sexy.
came in, he had to brag and show us all pictures of her and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
very
We had
attractive.
Passover dinner with him and his wife.
Boy.
And we hung out with her. She's very pretty, and she's a nice girl too.
What's Passover?
Jewish holiday. I don't know exactly
It's
what.
a Jew holiday.
I don't know what it means.
But he's from Brooklyn,
It was
and he's
back
Italian.
when the
I thought he was Jewish. Is he Jewish?
no the pharaohs wanted the dead the firstborn dead, so they put the blood on the door so the evil spirit passed over you. Amen.
Amen.
Or something.
Stephen S. Verbasio writes, did Jefferies find out any more lunatic info about Elvis being alive?
Lunatic info.
You guys, I can show you more evidence, but you're not going to believe me. If that pool house picture isn't enough for you, then I don't know what to say.
If it isn't enough for you.
Yeah, we debunked it, though.
Like he's
I
saying,
think Danny came up with it. It's obviously a reflection of...
Jim is saying, look, if you ain't buying that fucking picture, then fuck is all. Because that is definitive evidence.
Like Elvis would dress like that and look out his pool house door.
Right.
He'd have a wacky fake beard on or
There's
something.
easier ways to kind of take a peek.
What he did
Blonde
was,
beard.
after he died, he grew a beard, lost some weight, and he hung out in Germany for a while and hid out there for about 2 years.
Oh, he went to Germany, too?
Because he knew Germany. It was the only country that he ever traveled outside of America in.
Wait a minute, that's Dice.
Hey, I'm in the pool house.
Pool house. I was changing, and then I need some swimmies.
I got very intimidated when I met Dice Clay.
What?
I was quite nervous when I met Dice Clay. He was one of these ones.
He's an intimidating guy when you first meet him, yeah.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I sort of liked Dice Clay. You know, it was like the cassettes I used to get in Australia of Dice Clay. And I did Down and Dirty like Norton's show, and I met him. And I was
that was
like,
one Andrew was on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I met him, and I was like, wow, I got really nervous. He was a nice enough bloke. You know?
Yeah. Comes over, though, but he's always like,
So
fucking with you.
you're a British guy, Australian via... what is that?
Yeah, where are you from? Where you were one of those fad countries?
When we filmed that show, because Lemmy was there, right? I was like, I actually saw Lemmy, and I was like, oh, fuck, it's Lemmy.
Oh, you like Lemmy?
Yeah, love it, right? And he just looked like Lemmy should look. He had the
exactly,
he was perfect, right? And so I see him in the soundbox, and one of the producers goes, "Well, Jim, do you want to meet Lemmy?" And I was like, "Yeah, fuck, I want to meet Lemmy," right? And so I go up to him, and you know when you want someone to like you, so you just you're just like a sycophant. I'm like, I really want you to like me. and they go, this is Jim Jefferies, he's a comic from Britain. They go, oh, you may have seen him on the internet. He got punched in the head on stage, is how the guy introduced me. And then Lemmy was like, oh, yeah, I've seen that. He goes, you should have shot him. And I was like, right? And it was like the worst joke. And I was like, oh, good one, Lemmy. And I just felt dirty afterwards.
You were servicing him.
Yeah,
You were definitely blowing him.
Yeah, stop
with
it,
your
Lemmy.
laughter.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
That's
That's great.
yeah.
Lemmy, you
But
fucking...
he did give me a Jack and Coke in his dressing room because there's no alcohol in any of the dressing rooms.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
They weren't giving us any alcohol.
He Lemmy's dressing room. He wants Jack and Coke, and he wants fucking sour cream and onion potato chips, and like he has the worst eating habits. It's really funny what he wants in his dressing room. It's nothing fancy.
I was hammered that trip we did out to L.A. For the poker thing, and the
we
second
talked to Lemmy
day
for like an
when
hour.
Lemmy came on,
Hour
and
straight, yeah.
just pouring Jack and Cokes and drinking them. Because you know something, if you get the opportunity to drink with Lemmy, you do it. Just so you got the story. And he's just, you know, telling his stories and shit like that. And I'm like, holy shit, trying to keep up with Lemmy? Forget it.
He drinks a lot in the morning.
Stop it. He would drink.
You weren't
I've
there,
never
Jimmy,
seen
for that?
him not
I
drinking.
left for a
He
gig.
drank.
I have never seen Lemmy not drinking.
He drank a lot in that hour.
I think he's a drinking
looks
problem.
He went through most of a
fucking looks
bottle
like
in
Lemmy.
an hour, man. It was unbelievable. Well, Ann helped him out, I guess, but I mean, it was
A little bit.
It was. No, he outdrank you though, Ann.
Lemmy likes Nazi stuff too. Lemmy is really into Nazi memorabilia.
Didn't they find, though, when Michael Jackson died, that he had a bit of a Nazi memorabilia stuff?
Did he really?
He liked military outfits, didn't he, Michael Jackson?
Oh, well, when you see him on stage, when you saw him on stage, yeah, he kind of did have like this pseudo kind of military fruit look.
yeah. But he allegedly, they when they went through Netherlands, they found like a whole lot of Nazi stuff. Like, just.
What the fuck is he doing? Yeah, Lemmy's wearing an Iron Cross and shit. Yeah.
He wears the helmets with the little spiky things on
The
them.
spike on top.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was one of the worst designed outfits ever.
What the fuck is
do
that?
you know in sign language, because sign language is different in different places, but for German, sign language is that?
Really? You
Like
put
where
your
you put your finger up like that.
With a little Kaiser
yeah,
helmet?
so it's the spiked helmet. Like German. And Jew, and depending on where you are, is either that,
For a
but
beard.
in some places it's
for the payas. You do a little curls by your ears.
Curly
curls,
things.
yeah.
That spike thing, apparently that was supposed to be a weapon. Like, was that supposed to be a charging with your head weapon
I don't know.
in World War I? Because they lost that by World War II.
Yeah, there's got to be some guy who put it next to his bed and rolled out of bed and died, and they just went, nah, you can't.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
This is a stupid fucking.
Or like instead of taking, like I've seen some of those hand-to-hand combat things in movies and stuff where they take the helmet off and just beat the fuck out of the guy. If you took it off and there's a spike on it,
It's a
you
weapon.
could do some
Might
damage.
as well, have more weapons on you, right?
Yeah, but what if you're hiding from other soldiers? You don't want a fucking spike sticking out over the hedges. You want to be all tucked in.
Yeah. Well, they
You want your outfit to be a bit more discreet.
Yeah,
And that's probably why they discontinued it.
They stopped it. Apparently, Steve from Bayshore saying that in the late 1800s, American helmets had a spike on it. I don't remember that.
But look,
I don't
American
think
armies-
Steve from Bayshore would know absolutely what the spike was, what it was for.
But American armies had their own issues. I mean, the Revolutionary War, we had a band that
Yeah, you
marched.
always had had to have the guy with the drum and the fife.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like,
That was
you know,
just-
could that guy pick up a fucking gun,
Pull
please?
the baton twirling and all that type.
Yeah, the
America's
flag
fucking
guy.
Weird.
Like-
Who the
if-
fuck thought that was a good idea?
If the flag guy went down, another guy had to pick the fucking flag up, and now that's one less guy. That's actually two less guys that can
Right,
shoot.
yeah.
Here's a quick quiz question: who designed the Nazi outfits?
Oh, I've heard about this. Is that true though? Is that a
No,
rumor?
it's true. That's true.
A famous designer, yeah.
Hugo Boss.
Hugo Boss.
Hugo Boss designed all the Nazi outfits.
Really?
That's why they look so fucking
They look
good.
fucking
They look
good,
great.
man. I'm telling
would
you,
wear-
you look at all those fucking Nazis were sharp.
If I could find a fucking jacket like that, a fucking long leather Nazi fucking SS jacket, Gestapo jacket, I would buy one in a second. A remake, anything. Because those are the coolest looking fucking jackets. And then the boots, the fucking like anything. They had the shit as far as clothes went.
It's also like Hitler approved the Volkswagen Beetle design.
Yeah.
And he kept on going, more headroom. We want more headroom.
It's a bubble.
He didn't like being enclosed in the cars. He went, I want a car with heaps of headroom. And
It's the big
but
bubble
the thing
car.
is now, that car's like synonymous with hippies. And love and peace and flower people. It's fucking the Hitler car. It's the Hitler car. I don't care what you say.
Was he claustrophobic?
I don't know about. I didn't know him that well.
I think he was a little fucked up in every sense of the word. He probably had some of that in it. Yeah,
I imagine that was one of them. All right, let's get into this Dice thing. So Dice was on George Lopez doing the marriage announcement for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me say congratulations, because on Valentine's Day you got married. Dice got married. And better than that, she's a Latina.
She is, you know what?
Better than that.
Come on, George. Let me tell you, you don't marry a Latina girl. You know, all the they're the hottest thing in the world.
Yes.
You don't marry a Latina girl on the most romantic day of the year and think you're not going to be working that night. You know what I mean? Now I know what it's like to try to put out a brush fire, if you know what I mean. It's still smoking, I'm telling you. Yeah. I actually went to the doctor over it. You know, he says it's just a head wound. Am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
No,
But she's considerably younger. Can I say that?
yes, she is, and that's, you know, that's where Viagra comes in. You know what I mean?
Hey. El Succo my Caco.
We're gonna have fun with Dice next week.
She's a Latina.
Maybe it isn't. Yeah, I think it is next week. I think it's next Thursday.
10th,
I thought it was Latino.
I think it's Latino.
Latino.
No,
I've never heard
That's
Latino.
feminine.
No, the girls, they're called Latina.
I didn't know.
Are they?
And the
I didn't
guys
know that
are
either.
called faggotitos. Or something.
Just like male and female.
Yeah,
words.
I remember that from my
Which is
Spanish
so stupid.
teachings, but
I hate languages that have a male and a female word. Shut up.
Yeah, just call it a mouth.
It makes no sense. Oh, you didn't use the feminine phrasing for that. Go fuck yourself. You're lucky I knew the word. Never mind the feminine phrasing and this shit.
Well, I always found it funny whenever you learn a language. The first thing a fucking language teacher will always teach you how to go, my name is Jim Jefferies.
Yeah.
So, Io mi chiamo Jim Jefferies, or whatever I think is the Italian form. No one in English ever walks up to someone and says, my name is such and such. You just say, if someone goes, what's your name? You go, Jim Jefferies. You don't go, my name is... That's like,
You know what else really sucks?
I wasted a week on that.
Well,
About
they
every
teach you-
other about every other language
they
except
teach you
for
the
English.
shitty version of Spanish.
Do they?
Yeah, they don't teach you the right way to speak the damn language.
English rules, and I will tell you why. You can take a phrase in English like, wow, that is a beautiful car. I bet it goes really fast.
Yeah.
And in any other language, it's pretty car fast. Like, there doesn't seem to be details in any other language.
But for their
Like,
language,
you
it makes
could-
complete sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, but how about some fucking details? Like, you can't really elaborate as much as you can with English in other languages. They just seem to get the fucking shit out there.
I
And
was-
it said, pretty woman hair. Good. What the
I
fuck
don't know
is
if
that?
that's really true.
No, it is.
I
swear it is.
I think the Italians have a word. They're
No.
a very romantic bunch.
You fucking translate English into some other language or translate, take another language and take a phrase and translate it into English. And it's so fucking basic in the other language.
Yeah.
Like write out a phrase about something in English that is detailed and nice, and you'll get some kind of half-ass fucking, like, no detail, no fucking finesse. Bella.
I don't think you're
pretty.
No,
I don't think your theory has legs, man.
Yeah,
It
that's
doesn't,
good.
you translate an opera into English, like an Italian or a German opera, and the lyrics are beautiful.
They're not beautiful.
That's
Italian
what they
operas.
added
You
in
go
the
to
good
opera?
shit that English puts in.
We're all fat.
It's you traitor to your language. What are you doing?
What's wrong
You
with
guys
you?
invented this shit.
I studied classical music at university.
Oh, did you?
You really go to operas?
I've been to a few operas in my day. Yeah.
Which one was your favorite?
I've been to La Boheme.
I like the Mozart operas. You know, Magic Flute. Don Giovanni.
Magic.
Do they sing
The
in those?
magic flute. You're stuck on my magic flute.
Yeah, I don't like Wagnerian stuff. It's too fucking.
Do you know how to
heavy.
play shit?
I can do little. I'm not getting into this, man.
Yeah, you are.
What do you play?
I got
He plays the saxophone. Google it.
Google it. What do you play?
Come on, what do you play? Do you play the lute?
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
Piano player.
French horn. Don't say the French horn.
When I was 17 to 19, I was in 3 professional operas. There you go.
Were you? Are you a vocalist?
I was a singer. I was for the Australian Opera. I was in the opera house in Sydney.
Wow.
You really were.
I really was.
That
yeah.
big fucking opera house in Sydney?
The one that looks like a whole lot of nuns in a scrum. Yeah.
That was you?
Can you give us a taste?
were in
No,
there?
see, this is
You
the thing.
have to give us a taste.
You'll never believe.
You have to give us a
This is why
taste.
I never bring this up. You'll never believe me. What happened was I got nodules on my vocal cords through just smoking and drinking and all, to singing too much, right? And that's basically calluses on your vocal cords. So I had to have surgery on my throat. And I couldn't talk for like fucking 2 months. Like I just sat there with my mum yelling at me going, "You've wasted your talent! You've got nothing! Now you've got nothing!" Just sat there in the house, just rocking backwards and forwards. Like,
Oh shit, you can't even fight back.
yeah, and I watched a lot of stand-up comedy TV, like videos in that time, and plotted my revenge on society. You know, that's
Yeah.
You couldn't sing again?
No, I can't sing again. No.
So you can never sing again.
Wait. So your mom...
I think it's even on Wikipedia or something that I used to be an opera singer.
Jim. So your mom really thought you really had something with this?
Oh, I did have something.
Holy shit.
My best friend in Australia is an opera singer. That's my best
weird.
mate.
I would have
yeah.
never guessed this one.
Yeah. He's a guy called Andrew Moran. He's really good opera baritone.
So can we hear a little bit, even though you can't hit the notes like you used to?
I'm not.
Why? You know who else is an opera singer? Mike Rowe. Mike Rowe did it for us a little bit. Mike Rowe was a bona fide opera singer. He fucking belted out like
he really did.
A moment of it.
I'm not. No, I really.
I like how Jimmy goes, Mike Rowe did it for us. Like
well, meaning that...
and in that guilt thing, like, come on.
I haven't sung. I literally haven't sung in 10 years.
Really?
But it was alright. I was in.
Do you miss it?
No, I miss singing. I miss being able to sing.
You don't sing in the car when you're alone?
I sing in the car.
Yeah,
I sing in the shower.
Can you sing karaoke?
I can sing karaoke.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I can do a bit of. I could never do opera again.
What karaoke do you like to sing?
I haven't done karaoke for years either, but I like doing Elvis or something. Karaoke.
Can you do it Elvis as Elvis? What are you doing with Jim?
I love Elvis, man.
Of course you will. It's all starting to make sense now.
All right, well, let's hear some Elvis. I want to hear a little bit.
I'm not singing for you. It's just not happening. I didn't want to bring this up. You know what happened was
doing the dance.
I showed a little bit of knowledge on a subject
Yes.
you didn't think I would know about, and now because I'm slightly more cultured than you think I am, you're treating me like I'm a fag.
No.
I just snorted, man. Come on.
It's not
Jimmy wants to hear a little
I
did.
did.
Jimmy, you want to hear some
Yeah, but
Elvis?
not like, I don't want to...
I was in The Flying Dutchman by Wagner, and I was in Charles Gounod's Charles Gounod's Romeo and Juliet, which was in French, and that was
You speak
pretty.
French?
No. This is how I would learn songs, right? They would give me the stuff in French. I'd go off to a library, get like an old recording of it, and just mimic what they're doing. I didn't know whether I was singing about. I'd go, "What's this about? Is it love, hate? What am I doing?"
Holy shit,
Wow. That's a talent, though,
Yeah,
man.
and then
some like Japanese bands do that too.
Yeah.
They sing in English and they have no idea what they're saying. It's hysterical to listen to them because they kind of fuck the words up a little bit.
There's a Japanese Beatles tribute band in Tokyo, right? Which I went along and saw, and they perform every night, and they're huge. Like it's always packed out every night, and they're really good. But the weird thing is, the guy who plays John Lennon,
John Lennon,
spitting image of Yoko Ono. Like if you can
Got it all wrong.
if you can get a copy of this guy.
oh shit!
John Lennon. rough me. We can do it all day.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
When did you start with this talent? As a real
I
young
started
youngster?
16.
Rice pudding head.
16. I was in a couple of school musicals and And I got a scholarship as a young artist.
God damn, look at you.
Yeah, it was all accidental.
So that's why your mom fucking hates you.
Yeah, she hates me.
You were supposed to be an opera singer.
I was supposed to be an opera singer. She was very proud. And now
she
I'm
doesn't
cunt
really-
boy. I probably say
Mr.
cunt more than any other comic on the planet.
Because you brought up your mom a lot, where she's like, yeah, not. I mean, she's proud of you, I'm sure, but she's not thrilled with your career as much as you probably would like.
Dude, you
No.
went from like the most respectable,
Now it all
like
makes
a parent.
sense.
A parent would look at an opera singer as a child of an opera singer and be like,
I never did comedy in front of my mum or anything. And the thing is, my mother was always, she was always, my dad comes along and sees it and he enjoys it and that type of stuff. So I came back, I had the only DVD of the HBO special. I came back to Australia and I said to my mum, I said, just watch it. Like, you know, basically just going, love me, please, love me.
Yeah.
Right? And I put it on the DVD player and my parents were watching it and my mum was laughing and I was like, fuck, this is good, man. I felt really good about myself. And then my brain went, oh, the Gunter joke is coming up, right? And I sat there. Now, if you don't know the Gunter joke, it's basically a joke where I say over and over again that my mum's a fat bitch.
Yeah,
And if you've ever sat next to your mother while she's watching her younger son saying she's a fat bitch on TV, you just sit there awkwardly going,
What'd she do?
She did what all mums do. You know, like, your parents want to believe that you're a good person. That's just what parents want to believe. It's that whole thing. If your mother finds, like, drugs in your bedroom, you can always do that live, I'm holding them for a friend, and your mum will believe you, but you have to be willing to lose a friend. You have to have one.
Because she wants a name. She wants a name.
You have to have one guy that you're going to have to cut free.
Yeah.
But she did that thing where I'm on stage telling she's fat and call her Gunther, and she goes, I don't know how you come up with these things. Oh, you have quite the imagination. And my dad was like, oh, they still call you Gunther woman.
Gunther woman.
And you were supposed to be an opera singer.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I want to hear a little Elvis.
We need a little
I'm not
Elvis.
singing.
You know,
Why, we're
sing
about to
the
play
impression.
Dice singing fucking Elvis.
Dice singing Elvis.
It's early in the morning. I got drunk last night.
Do a little
I'm not singing.
indicator.
I know he's not.
See?
You have a voice. It's obvious you could do. You sound like Elvis when you sing.
No,
Steve
I
from
don't
Bayshore does a
do
great impression.
impersonations.
What if we get Steve to do his? Will you do yours?
No, I'm not going to sing for you. Just
Steve goes, sing a little Elvis, fucko. Fucko.
I'm not going to tell you people anything anymore.
Why? It's a good thing.
Sick for his breakfast.
You use things against me.
No, I completely understand. I'm on your side.
You know, if I said I used to be a porn star, would you get me a chick to fuck in front
Yeah.
of you? No,
Yeah, well,
Yes.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Even if you weren't.
Get Bobo in here to blow you.
Oh, Bobo, is he here yet?
But,
Oh, please, no.
he's only 10% gay, though.
I tell you what,
No, I'm right with you.
my friend who is an opera singer, I went back to Australia, I went to the opera house to watch him sing, right? And he's like, he's really popular now. And afterwards, they had a little after-show party, and there's just old women in shawls just fucking, like, all over him, fawning, having
that.
pictures.
You're
And
at
then
least getting some nice trim.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, I think I chose the right job. Yeah. It's a kind of a job. You can't go out or anything. Like,
Why?
Because
You gotta take care of your
You got
voice.
to take care of your voice. You can't, like, yell at a sporting game or something like that. You can't drink. You can't, you know what I mean? It's a really difficult
What do you have
job.
to do to maintain your voice? Just a lot of
Apparently, he doesn't know. Fucked it up.
What have you heard?
Fucked it
What do the successful people do?
It's warm-ups and all that type of stuff is really important. And there's...
They are important. They help you.
Yeah.
What's a warm-up?
But
It's like the vocal...
in the old days, like Caruso and all that type of stuff, the Sopranos, they used to a fucking cup of jizz before they went on stage.
What?
Holy shit!
No.
I'm not kidding. Google it. The old,
Google it.
Wouldn't that make your voice go like...
Well,
does it, Jim?
Does it burn? Does it?
God damn, Jimmy.
But they reckon it lubricates the cords, doesn't it?
Ah.
If you've ever had like
We're
a throat
Googling it.
operation,
Yeah.
it's a kind of a thing. They shove a camera up your nose, right, and down through your windpipe to look at your vocal cords, and then you're watching it on a big TV screen.
Yeah.
That's one of the most horrible things you'll ever have done.
Ah.
It's intrusive.
How long did it take him to
that.
get the nodes off?
Oh, well, it took months to heal, but to take them off was just, you know,
Who gave you
an hour surgery.
Who gave you the news you weren't going to be an opera singer?
A doctor.
And your mom probably just
Your
broke
singing
down and
days are
cried.
over.
She's just like, oh, no.
You fucked up.
I was kind of relieved. I was done with it, really. I wasn't making a good living out of it. I was only working as an opera singer a couple of months out of the year, having to do singing lessons every fucking week. I never liked it, even as a kid. What happened, I was just doing a school musical, and then the teachers were like, oh, you can sing, and everyone sort of pushed me into it, and I just wanted to be a fucking...
Were you able to hit those real, like, high, hold-em notes?
This is why I got a gig, right? Because I'm 6 foot, and I was a tenor. And most tenors are short, dumpy little fuckers, right? But all the romantic lead roles are always tenors. So you've always got this big fat bitch soprano, and then this little tiny short guy, and that's like, it just doesn't look right. And in opera, they don't really cast for looks. They just whoever can sing. And so they thought, 6 foot tall tenor, that'll be
Did you take
useful.
the lead? Were you the lead in any of them?
No, I was too young for that.
Did you ever have to kiss one of the soprano girls?
Only in acting class or something like that. It's very incestuous,
what
the
opera
opera world.
What the jizz taste like, you fucking homo?
He said you up, you dummy. Why you answer that? I didn't want the answer.
You know what I like about that? You probably had that planned a long time.
Of course he did. 20 minutes ago.
I was wondering.
Wait, instead, really? What were you saying about opera? Everyone's sleeping with each other?
Everyone's fucking each other, man.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, it's like, they're not, you think of them like they're going to be really, like, polite, sort of, But
refined.
They're all shagging each other, yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Oh, no, it's like a rock fucking... like a rock tour going on.
It's like a fucking drama, that place, you know. It's like,
yeah.
But it was interesting, that opera house and everything, it's like, world famous, isn't it?
How big is it?
The problem is, it looks really good from the outside, right? But because of the design outside, it's a bit shit inside, you know, because it's all like pointing like that.
Yeah.
It's like all the rows taper in until there's one bloke in the back row just...
And the point. You've seen that.
In the point, but
that's like a landmark.
Architecturally, it's a fucking marvel, that thing.
What is it supposed to look like? Billowing sails or something?
That's the Sydney Opera House.
In Australia, we call it nuns in a scrum, like in a rugby league scrum. Nuns in a scrum.
Yeah, that's good.
How many seats?
Well, see, it depends. These are all separate little rooms. There's like a little tiny, like if you want to go do stand-up there, there's a little room that, like a 250-seater, where touring acts, like American acts and stuff, they always go, I played the Opera House, but you're only playing this little wing at the back.
Small room.
And then, like, there's the concert hall stuff, and then there's the opera rooms, another smaller one there, and...
Wow.
Oh, they're all different rooms.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Huh.
So it's, it's the talking architecture on the Opie.
We'll go anywhere, man.
Famous buildings from around the world.
We've seen the building.
Yes. I never saw
our
it.
entire lives.
You've never seen a picture of that?
Never.
Are you out of your mind?
Never saw the city. I'd heard of it, but I thought it was like an older building. I had no idea it looked like that.
It is an older building.
That picture
This thing's been around for a while.
Looks like someone's going to be sailing away and be careful it doesn't get blown to the ocean.
It's funny, the guy who designed it was like a Danish bloke, right? And then they started, like, the government started going, no, we want it different on the inside. And he fucking lost his rag and just went, oh, you can go get fucked then. Right? Right, but most of it was already built, right? He fucked back off to Denmark or whatever. And he's never seen it since.
Really?
He's never come back to have a look at it or anything.
Fuck it, it's there.
Yeah, you can get fucked. And he's like 100 years old now, and he's still bitter about it.
He's still all pissed about it.
How old's the building?
I don't know. It's probably fucking. I wouldn't know how old. It's probably 80 years old, I guess.
Wow.
Maybe.
Really?
I don't know. I might be completely wrong. It might have been built in the bloody. It's probably built in the 50s.
Well, we're not going to get Jim to sing Elvis, but we do have dice on George Lopez, so that's what this led to.
Yeah.
So here we go.
But she is the sweetest,
73.
most lovable,
73. Well,
happy girl I've ever been with, and I plan on keeping her that way.
You know what? I love that.
And, I don't know, I know we're both doing the Hilton Hotel.
Yes.
I just signed a long-term deal with them.
Congratulations on that. You
Thank
signed
you.
a long-term deal with the Las Vegas Hilton.
And George is going to be there this weekend, too. He's going to be in the Elvis showroom.
Yes.
And since it's that kind of thing, I'm going to do a little something special.
Beautiful.
Let me feel it. Let me feel it. It's for you, baby. Take it off, fellas. Take care. God bless.
Go home and get your fucking shine box.
Okay, faggot. What's next?
Hey, I just want to say.
Red cakes for nuts
on, Jim, we're doing a little thing here. Hold on, give us a moment. Give us a moment. We're doing a little thing.
He does these impersonations. I swear, you would think it was the real people.
What's that supposed to be? Some kind of sick joke?
I hate you.
I was only joking.
Wow.
That's funny. I'm funny.
It wasn't that bad an impersonation.
No,
it was all right.
no, hold on.
Actually, that's a really good Elvis.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Hold on hold on 1 second.
What happened?
What do you do for a living, character?
Character?
Yeah. He's done that on our show. Do we have the Elvis he did on our show?
K-O-R-S.
K-O-R-S.
I'm just speaking Spanish. I gotta learn, I gotta be multilingually. Hey. La pluma son la table. Or something.
Or something like that. You got the Elvis? This is what Dice did for us. Opie and Anthony, busy show. We got Jim Jefferies in studio playing Carolines this weekend, 212.
Yeah.
757-4100. And we invited Colin Kane to join the program, who's working with Jim Jefferies this weekend. Very funny comic, man. Colin's really funny. And he's always at Caroline's. Oh, you guys don't get along?
No, we get along.
You just gave a look like this isn't a good idea.
What are you doing here?
Right.
I was waiting for him to fucking talk. You're talking about
looked at
him.
me like I sat next to you on the bus. Like, oh, dude.
No, I wanted to say hello, but there was a microphone in front. We get along.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gave a look like, man, I should have told you something before you decided to do this.
I like Colin.
All right.
I think he's too good looking to be a comedian. He's one of those fuckers. You just like, how did you develop being funny? You're probably popular and people liked you.
Ugh.
I don't know how people do it.
It's like one or the other, right?
Yeah, you got to be ugly,
Stop
right,
it.
to be a comedian.
You gotta have something wrong with you, though. It could be just good-looking comics. It could be internal, his problems.
I do. Yeah, you just nailed it. I do. Yeah, for sure.
It's internal.
It's because people they look at you and they think you have it easier, but it's the same for everyone else. I think.
Yeah, if you've seen his comedy, he's got issues, man. Obviously, there's times he wants to take on the whole crowd. I'm like, dude, chill, man, chill. Holy shit!
But you know when
he's
you
gonna
meet-
strangle someone tonight.
You know when you meet a good-looking girl and, like, she'll do this type of thing? She'll be, like, at a party going, it's really hard because sometimes people don't see me. People just see the way that I look, and it's like, I wish I could scar your face up. Yeah. so everyone
way to straighten it out.
everyone can see the real you. Shut up.
All that horse shit.
A little bit of boric acid right in the face will fucking teach you a thing or two about manners.
I love it when good-looking women lose their looks. Oh, it's that tragic. Just and you see it in Hollywood every day. You go to an audition and there's like they're all holding their photos, waiting to go in for the audition, and then there's the girls who have just gotten to Hollywood who goes, I was the prom queen in Oklahoma, and I'm going to do some acting, right? And then you got like that woman who's like 30, but she's still trying to get the 22-year-old role, and she's just primming her face and putting makeup on, and she's just a bag of shit, like she's just a mess.
A bag of shit.
And everything's gone to shit in her life. She never got as famous as she wanted to, and I just laugh.
You love that?
I love it, because I've still got stand-up comedy. All you've got is acting, you useless bit of skin.
Because during the glory years of their life, there early on, they depended on their looks and got along with just their looks, and then it goes to shit, and now what?
Exactly.
Now what?
This is what I love about Facebook as well, is because I don't date anyone my age. That would be disgusting, right? Like, wouldn't that be disgusting to go out with someone as old as you?
How old are you?
I'm 33, but no, it's just disgusting. And so I try to date girls that are about 25-ish, like that, right? And that's why I love Facebook, because I look at all these pictures of girls that I went to school with who I haven't seen since school, and I'm like, look at you, you old pig. Look at how it's all gone to rubbish. I'm still young. I'm a man. It is a horrible double standard, but
Yeah.
So, Colin, you get probably tired of people, because he's a handsome dude, but he's a funny dude, too. So you probably get tired of people, not Jim because he's a comic friend of yours, but like when people judge you, like oh, this guy's good looking, what does he have to feel a certain way about? You're probably like, I'm the same fucking dude as everybody else. I still, lose my erections or fucking get shot down or have mother issues or whatever the fuck else makes you.
Yeah, same exact stuff going on. It's just
what's your big issue?
Big issue? Anger. Definitely anger.
Yeah.
Just a disdain towards people. Fucking hate people.
Where does that come from?
If you see him live,
I had a great upbringing too.
Nice parents.
Oh, great. Just the nicest upbringing. Just certain people. Just
didn't you go after a blind woman once at a show or something?
Dude, I didn't go after. I was doing the show and I was killing. I was doing really well, and she wouldn't look at me. You know that show? Just right in the front row, she wouldn't look at me at all. And I'm like, don't address it. Just keep going. Pay attention. And then finally, I'm just looked at her. I'm like, why aren't you looking at me? Just look at me. And then I looked underneath her chair, and her stick was folded up. So
she shouldn't have been sitting in the front row.
She didn't know he was talking to her.
Yeah, she should have been sitting at the fucking back if she's blind.
I didn't know she was blind. Apparently, the whole room did. I showed up late, so it was just one of those things. I pretended I was the comic before me, and I just kept on going. So it was one of those things.
You didn't address it?
I did. I said I was the comic before me. Still.
Oh, that's funny.
I said my name's like Charles Simmons. I'm not getting on stage.
Yeah. The crowd should have laughed at. That's a very funny moment.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, the comics loved it, and it was just one of those things where I had to address it. I can't just not say anything.
And her friends have a sense of humor by putting her in the front row.
Sure they do. Her dumb
stick. That's a bad spot for anyone. But imagine if you're blind. What are they doing to her?
They should have faced her the wrong way. If they were any real friends, they would have fucking turned her chair towards the fucking back.
I was doing a gig in San Francisco 2 weeks ago, and this was like the perfect storm of misery, right? Now, in Australia, if a redheaded person's having a kid, we always go, oh, you're having an orangutan, are you? Right? Right? Just a little joke. You're having an orangutan, right? So there was this pregnant woman with red hair, right? And I'm like, oh, you're having an orangutan? Like that, right? But boyfriend's a black guy, right? I didn't mean it like that. So it's a redheaded woman and a black guy. So I've done that thing where I've gone, just like back up, just get out of the problem. So I've gone, so what do you do for a living? And then she went, I work at the zoo.
Not good.
Yeah, no. It was the perfect storm of shit.
I was at Caroline's probably like 3 months ago, and I do this bit when they aren't laughing. I just say out loud, like, if you guys don't start laughing, I'm going to lock the door and start a fire in this shithole. That's what I say, just, because they're not laughing at me. And I said that. Another true story. I looked in the front row, 2 burn victims sitting there.
Oh, how great is that,
dude? With their nurses that saved their lives like 6 months ago, and they wanted to have like a reunion. They had the glasses on, the hat, everything.
A reunion / spoil everybody else's night.
I hear those two stick together. Come on.
They weren't that badly burned because they could still wear glasses. So,
no, I think it was just...
yeah, that's all right.
So what happened? What happened?
So I looked down and they're like, no fire, no fire. And then I looked at them and I totally knew right away. I'm like, fuck, I can't. I mean, I couldn't stop and be like, I was just, I was kidding. I just had to just fucking stay up there and say it. It was just.
Did you address the awkwardness of it? That's a weird one. Burn victims.
I can't. They were still on fire. These guys. They seriously were. They were fresh. I could smell it up there. It was,
you know what? That happens. Sometimes you do the wrong reference and fucking.
But what are the chances of that?
But at least people see them for them now.
I know. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen every night. Because if you get a burn victim every night in the front row, what a fucking great career you can have.
I've had that one where I've heard that like a noise, sort of like a rocking sort of noise. And I've gone, shut up, you fucking retard. And yeah, it's a retard.
I had that once too.
Yeah, where you just like, it's in the dark. You don't mean it. I never call a retard a retard. You just,
Yeah, what are you, retarded? And all of a sudden, like, you see that fucking face,
Do you feel bad about yourself?
I once got heckled by
I'm bringing him.
I once got heckled by a blind, retarded guy, right? And I said, I'm just going to be up here for about 20 minutes or something in a set. And he went, that sounds too long. Like that, right? Like just a stupid heckle. And I was like, all right, I'm going to rip into this cunt. And I look in, and it's like a blind, retarded guy. And I did that. Oh, thanks, fella. Yeah, hope you have a good night. And then the audience lost all faith in me.
They should have. You should have asked him, what are you doing when you're not ruining family photographs?
Everybody loves that one.
That got me. That got me. I like that.
Family fun.
Yeah, that's a classic. Reading up on Colin, though, you lived in the woods for. We're trying to get to know him a little bit. You lived in the woods for 30 fucking days. What was that about?
I
what the
did.
fuck did you do wrong?
My parents sent me. It was kind of like this wilderness program to find myself, and I just lived in the woods in British Columbia for 30 days with 15 complete strangers.
Wow, not by yourself. I was thinking you were in the woods by yourself.
Yeah. But did your parents think you were on drugs or something?
No,
Or you were
nothing
a
like
problem
that.
child?
No, nothing like that.
Things
no.
where people
I
yell
don't-
at you and make you challenge yourself.
I don't drink or do drugs now. I used to, not anymore. But no, when you go on those, they actually make you jump in the water with all your clothes on before you even start like the trip. Just because if you're carrying shit, they want to like get it wet, weed and stuff like that. They
all right, that's a pretty good idea.
They make you jump in the water.
That's
yeah.
a great idea.
Not me
to
though.
put it in a
But part of the
waterproof,
trip, actually, you have to have like a solo, which is like by yourself. You know, which I'm already isolated enough. But you gotta like be by yourself for like 3 days.
Did you wank a lot in that time?
No, not that much.
Not in the woods.
I would just be in the woods, just crouched next to a tree, just like a monkey.
But since it was bear country, you couldn't go by yourself. So there was some scary shit, though. They had helicopter food, and we used to wipe our ass with, like, nature, snowballs.
Holy shit.
All that kind of stuff, yeah.
So, Colin, you quit drinking and doing drugs?
Yeah.
How long ago?
Almost 7 years.
Oh, cool, man. Very
Yeah.
cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I don't understand why your parents were putting you in that. I still don't understand.
You know what, though? It was fun, though.
It's different, right?
Yeah.
I went to fucking just basketball camp. Jesus.
I didn't do anything.
I didn't hang out with bears and shit.
Opera singing school.
I've seen, now we're all trying to bring up things that are cool, but they're not.
You have to sign a waiver before you go on this because, people get hurt. Some girl in Africa left food in her tent. And she got ripped out by her head by like a hyena or something. So yeah.
Was she killed or just injured?
Just injured, yeah.
Injured.
No, they could smell that shit.
Very
You gotta
And
fucking-
everybody was scarred, so like they had to pay for like the whole like
Oh, really?
like therapy afterwards.
Yeah. No, you gotta put
Wow.
that food and shit up in the trees.
I saw a show like that where they had these like teens that were all fucked up, and they sent them to a program like that where they did have like solo time. They had to be away, and you could kind of almost hear some of the people crying, like they were alone in one tent, because you're not like really a fuckload away from each other, right? You're just kind of alone in your little tents.
Yeah.
And they could hear people crying. Like the girls, I'm alone. I'd be in that tent so fucking fast.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I could masturbate to a girl crying.
I went to Camp Mason because my mother thought it'd be good for me to spend
Sounds like a prison.
It was awful. It was actually one of the camps that they shot. It was like right down the street from where they shot Friday the 13th. That was
Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah, which is not really called that. Some dumb Indian name. And I remember there was one boy we didn't like, so we all urinated on his mattress. The whole camp story. That's all I remember from camp.
He killed himself years later.
Yeah. I'm sure that guy turned out great.
My parents would send me food at camp, like care packages and stuff, and there was some fat fuck who I went to camp with, this huge kid, and he stole the box of my Butterfingers my dad sent me, and I found it under his bed, so I took pictures of like the food under his bed, and I confronted the kid. So great.
This is the beautiful part, by the way. We have 3 comedians, and not one of us has good camping stories. One time we were mean to a kid, and he's like, some kid pilfered my food, and we had to discuss it. And fucking Jefferies has no camping stories. Only things he would do if he camped.
I've got the Scoutmaster masturbating on me, so I've got a bad.
I stand corrected. You have a great camping story.
Yeah, that's a famous Jeffrey story.
Oh, really?
You must have been an adorable little child.
Making the opera sound with his mouth.
Were you angelic?
How do you think my voice got so good so quick?
Yeah.
Why aren't you soprano? Fuck, man.
I just been informed that Bobo is ready to debut his new character.
Great, his new character. And what is this character called?
And Colin, don't be shy. Just jump in. If you want to make fun of this retard like we do, you go for it, man.
We'll do.
He can't.
Right.
He's an actual retard, isn't he?
He's not
Well, he said no. We can officially say that now because he says he admits to being 10% retarded.
10%?
10%. We think it's more like 25.
Who does
25,
those
30.
statistics? Does a doctor just say?
Have you ever met Bobo?
No, but I've never. I'd like to know how. I think I'm at least 2% retarded. I'd like to find out.
We have a bit we've done with Bobo probably 10 times, but we got to do it for new people. I think.
Yeah,
every time because it's just it's amazing.
He's asked that when he premieres his new character, that Back in Black be playing.
Is this the guy who ate shit once?
No, that's me.
Oh, that's Eastside Dave.
Oh, Seaside Dave. Yeah, he ate a bit of shit. I don't remember that.
He ate shit?
Yeah.
Eastside Dave is the real deal.
Well,
He's not allowed to do that stuff
He
anymore.
put shit in his mouth.
No, he pretty
Was it
much
his own
fucking
shit?
swallowed it. Yeah, he shits for you and then he eats it.
Yeah.
It's a great bit.
Oh yeah, when he'd make shitties.
Yeah.
He makes shitties.
Make shitties, yeah.
That's what he calls
He's a good boy, Dave. Yeah, he's funny.
He makes shitties.
Squat over a
Dave, Eastside Dave is a talent. He really
He's
is.
a funny
Hey,
guy.
wait. We don't have your music, Bobo. Hold on a minute. We got to find Back in Black.
Oh my God.
This is Bobo. He's going to debut his new character.
He's only 10% retarded.
10%. Remember that.
Remember.
He's also 10% gay.
And 10% gay.
And he's 10% gay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. What's his new name?
This is barge-in drunk guy.
Send him over to Shade 45. Get a fucking shot.
You want to do the intro, Sam?
Yes, please. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Opie and Anthony show, the world premiere of Barge-in Drunk Guy.
Oh, barge-in drunk guy.
Barge-in drunk guy.
What the fuck? I got woken up early in the morning to get here. I just ran into that blind governor. I punched the crap out of his eyeballs, those glass eyeballs. And you can't forget that Negro who cut me off on the LAE. The Negro, he just cut me off on the LAE. He said, "What is wrong with you? Why you been dumping me? What? Because of blonde? I did? No, because of blonde. You pissed me off. I just punched him right there."
Only 10%? Only 10%.
Only 10%.
I just kicked the crap out of him, and then I ran into this other guy,
He will
this
not be
Asian
as
guy,
paralyzed, by the way.
who just
He will
said
not be
why I didn't pay the full 50 cents. I said I didn't pay the full price for that newspaper because it's wet and it's missing the sports section. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
I want my sports section. I need to know how my Mets did. I need to read my sports coverage. You know me by now. You know me for so many years.
apologize.
You know I like my sports section. So I punched the crap out of him as agent. I said, hey, I thought you knew Kung Fu. What's the matter? I just kicked him right there in the balls. If he had any,
Jim Jefferies
that
around.
guy has no ass, so I couldn't shove my foot up his ass.
It's a grower, this character.
And then this other Indian guy at my deli.
Yeah.
I got a sandwich yesterday. You know what happened? There was only one little slice of meat. Where's the meat of my sandwich? I want a sandwich. I want a pat full of pastrami. That's why I only go to Italian delis. It's the sole reason. Ever since I moved to this neighborhood, this guy's been the worst deli guy ever. I just punch the crap of it and says,
Bubble.
Tase him.
Tase.
"Oh, you can't take me."
Rock, man.
Bobo.
Tase him right in the neck.
Just watch him go down.
Right in the neck.
Tase him like a Jackson child.
And Bobo supposedly had a couple beers to get ready for this character, Sam. Will you break this down a little bit? Because we don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, what is this?
Bobo, he insisted that to do this character, he would need 2 beers. So
Now, why? What is the difference between 2
Method
beers
acting.
and just this?
Retardation.
Yeah, because it looks to me like you would have been able to do that without any beer.
Well, yeah, I could, but to really feel it, to really feel like I'm drunk, I kind of have to, really feel it. And it's
with your arms.
And to really act like a crazy drunk, I have to actually be drunk.
It's when you hide the thumb and grab it. That's when you hide
He's
the thumbs.
grabbing
That's
his
when you know
fists
it's
and
when you hide the thumb.
shaking them around.
Well, you really have to be drunk to really feel it.
Yeah. Just keep plowing right through there.
To really feel it.
Steven S. from Bayshore he's got a great idea. Could you do the cowardly lion for everybody? You do a terrific cowardly lion. Yes, it's unbelievable.
Let me see if I can do this.
I thought
I've never.
Twitchell's did that.
I'm not really
it's not
known for doing a cowardly.
Twitchell's does it, but Bobo does it
Do you like when
much better.
Twitchell does it?
Yeah, it's freaking hilarious.
All right, here we go.
All right, let me try. I've never done this one before. Put 'em up, put 'em up, put 'em up, put 'em up, put 'em up. If I was the king of the forest,
I would not be just a nothing. My head all full of stuffing, my heart all full of pain.
No.
Jim Jefferies singing. There you go, Norton. Got a little taste of Jesus. I don't know what
It was in tune. When it was in tune.
Yeah. So what he had a couple beers to get ready for his drunk
Yeah, he had 2 beers and then he chugged 2 giant Monster energy drinks because he loves his monsters.
Yeah.
And this is what he decided to come to the table with today. This is the big phone call prepping that he had.
Yeah.
That he had worked on this character.
That was uncomfortable.
Well, the bargain guy is the bargain drunk. It's uncomfortable being around the bargain drunk because he's a bargain drunk and he's a complete asshole. And you know this guy could get easily pissed off and beat the crap out of you if he was a real person.
That wasn't why, but I mean, I guess that does make sense.
Yeah, it wasn't a comedy character.
I think I got an idea.
It's theatrical.
But he does characters. I think we should all come up with characters for Bobo. I got one.
All right.
Inappropriate flasher.
Inappropriate.
Drunk flasher. Yeah, make believe we're at camp and we're all young boys, and we're not gay or anything, but you're the inappropriate flasher. You're kind of a pedophile. No one knows that. You're the camp counselor at the camp. And all of a sudden you barge in, and we're just kind of hanging out, doing our thing as campers. And you come in as the inappropriate flasher pedophile guy. Can you do that one, you think?
Just add things to the word. That's great.
I'm not so thrilled about doing this because I'm not so the best. It's not a pretty sight, but
clearly
you want him outside the studio and barge in as this guy.
Yeah, I feel like you guys should take on the role as campers, where you'll all speak like, and then the inappropriate.
Do I get on my knees and tie my hands behind my back?
Well, I usually thought of a way to do this character on the spot because I've heard stories about crazy idiots like this one. So
all right, you're gonna come in. You're gonna come in as this guy.
Yeah.
Inappropriate flasher.
Okay.
You see where he's had plastic surgery in Clinton?
Oh, Clinton?
Facelift, yeah.
Yeah?
You see where the skin's
He's got a real boozer's nose, though, now, too.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yes! He's got that fucking thing.
Yeah. My wife's got cankles and a cock. Yeah.
Hey, kiddies.
What?
Kitties.
Hey, kiddies. How you doing, kids? I hope you're having a great time here at camp. But I need to make you aware of a certain problem. You want to see a dick that's been messed up thanks to the fact they messed up a urinary system operation when he was a baby? This is a real messed up dick. It's not a pretty sight, but you got to see this so you know how bad. If you think you have it worse, if you think you're being bothered by the fact you got a tiny dick, it could be a lot worse, kiddies. You want to see how bad?
Oh, God.
You see? It could be a lot worse.
Is that a clit?
You see, it could be a lot worse.
He just
You
pulled
see,
his
they
pants
really
down.
messed up the operation,
It doesn't
kiddies.
clear the pubes.
No.
It really had a messed up operation. It's not the best.
I never felt so good about myself.
Watch it.
You feel like a porn star.
But it does change. It does change.
I have to admit, though,
Hold on, Bubba,
I'm
hold
kind
on.
of lucky
Is that
because
the
there's a lot
10% that's
worse.
retarded?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Bobo.
Well, now we're gonna
you
say
watch
into
it.
our
Watch-
greatest
watch
bit of
the
all
magic.
time.
Now you watch the magic.
Watch the magic.
Watch the magic.
Stay there right now, because do you know that Christina was in here before? Did you see her?
Oh, I'm out of character now, but yeah, she. I didn't see her, but I'm sure.
It's growing.
She was going to take a shower for us and let those big breasts get all soaped up. Would you like to soap up her big tits?
Well, yeah, I would love to see that.
You could probably grab them both and soap them up.
It's gonna hit your leg, Jim.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Right, just believe me, I would love to see that.
Yeah, those tits are so big and heavy, right?
But it's the first time, like, Colin's been in here for how long?
Yeah,
I need to sit by myself for a day.
Would you suck her big tits and let her play with your dick?
Yeah,
She'd probably tug on it, squeeze it.
Yeah, I would.
Just the big old titties, just and you're just.
Yeah. I would.
Titties.
Oh yeah, I would love to rub my. I would bury my face in those big boobies.
But now the reversal. So what do you think about the Mets this year? I mean, I think that a lot of the prospects are not performing as to how they thought they were going to.
Well, I got to remember it is early in spring trading.
Yeah.
And they're
Well, they won, what, 17-13?
Now, but they're saying that the second base prospect is not doing what he's supposed to be doing, and the pitching staff is not quite up to par. Do you think the pitching staff is going to get it done this year, or no?
Yeah, I think they are. It is spring trading, as I said. Only the first 2 days of spring trading.
The head is missing a piece. I can see over there.
The
It's missing a piece.
First 2 days, though.
Yeah.
They're going to be a lot better. They need to get into pitching form, right?
Yeah, because the relief, they say the bullpen is not quite living up to expectations, and their closer situation is not what it's supposed to be.
I'm worried about David Wright, too, man, to be honest.
No,
I'm a little worried about him, Bobo.
He just hit a home run yesterday.
I understand he did, but let's look past that.
He's going to have a much better season than last season.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure of that. He's going to have a much better season this year.
No, yeah, I think so too. But they're also saying, you keep up with the Yankees at all or no?
I hear stuff here and there. I don't watch. I don't watch the Yankees, but I hear stuff because they're in the same city. So I'll hear stuff in the daily news, and plus I got a friend of mine who's a Yankee fan, so we talk about how our teams are doing. But damn, that chick there is hot.
Jefferies has a penthouse
Whoever
open.
she is.
Trying to find the centerfold.
Oh, yeah.
Who is that chick?
Oh, man.
Who is that chick?
I was looking at her to cleanse me.
Yes.
Yeah. She is like,
He's a
wah, wah, wee, wah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Nice, sexy picture. John Lejeau.
The things you do, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we pour hot coffee on it?
2 girls.
It looks like it already has.
Jesus
Christ.
Yeah, a bit of a lesbian shoot.
I would love
It's
to
like
be in the
that
middle of
little
that.
pill you
They're
drop
not
in the
real
water when you're a
lesbians, they're
kid
not
and it
punching.
foams up. You know, like the magic
This
pill
one.
that
Oh,
the
man.
foam dinosaur.
I would
That's
love to be in the
The
middle of
fucking
this one.
snakes.
the
You used to
snake
light it on
skin.
fire.
Good
and
call. Yeah, it's a great
All
reference.
right, it's at full power.
Yeah.
It just
There's chicks that hot and wanting to be in the middle of that with the two chicks like that.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, it just goes up and down all day, depending on what you talk about. It's unbelievable.
You can have that. You want that?
We can make it go away within seconds by just talking baseball. It's so bizarre. Anyone else have a character for Bobo?
Yes, how about run down the hall like that character?
Yeah.
I'm gonna, yes.
Why don't you act retarded and take your dick out?
How about...
I wouldn't want to creep out people like that.
I'm gonna have a character called Stay Away From All My Relatives character.
It's got like 9 colors. I got this angle right here. The tip is missing something.
It's had 48 operations.
All right, they
really?
messed up.
Tell
They
him.
messed up a urinary system. I get tired of telling this story, but since you want to know,
How many people are you showing?
they messed up an operation when I was a baby, a urinary system operation, and I had a urinary infection when I was little because of that operation. I nearly died twice.
What about the pubes, though? What are you doing with that?
Yeah, they really are horrible.
It looks like
I'm trying to figure out recommendations on a...
Get a clipper, get the same thing you clip your head
I'm trying to
with.
figure out recommendations on a good razor don't razor. That won't cause any bad cuts.
Don't get a razor. Get the same things that you clip your head with, and just go over it, or get
right across your neck.
Get some
And I'm also
toenail
trying to
scissors.
work on. I'm trying to figure out a good recommendation to.
Bobo, you want us to duct tape your pubes today?
No,
You want to take one shot?
I think you should.
One shot?
I think you should.
How about one shot?
Well, if it's an area that's not close to the penis.
Yeah, I understand. Let's do that.
All right, because I don't want any cuts there already.
All right.
It's already enough. I've had to go through so many surgeries. I got to drink a lot of fluids.
We got
'cause of
gaffer's
that.
tape. That should work.
No. And also, I'm trying to also figure out a good thing to use after I shave my pubes to prevent irritation.
A bin.
Yeah, suicide.
No, I mean, what do I use on my on
Don't
the
shave
area?
them. Don't shave
rubbing
them.
alcohol.
Just trim them. Don't shave them.
Bobo, by the way, we could have this discussion with your pants up as well. Just
Yeah.
That's better that down, though.
No,
really?
Yeah.
I would prefer my pants up, but for some reason
Better
Jimmy
down.
keeps saying to better down. I'm not right, but I'm also trying to figure out a good thing on the skin to prevent irritation. Like when I try to keep maintaining the hairless cock.
Nair.
I like
The
with your.
hair
I like
No, I think Nair is for removal.
like the
I'm talking
monster.
about something after I shave myself to prevent irritation on the skin.
Aren't you afraid you might just nick your dick right off?
I don't think you can nick it
It's like
off.
a mole.
I don't think I can nick it off, but it can cause bad cuts, and I don't want to deal with that, all right?
Hey, you want E-Rock to do this? I want him to take one shot.
I have to say I've never
One
seen
shot.
anything like
Wait,
that.
see who
in my
take
time.
one shot.
That's terrible.
We're gonna
I'm
fucking.
just, you know what it is? It
rip
looks like
some hair out?
Yeah.
If you see
He
the
said as long as it's not close to
What?
He's retarded. You can't do that. No, on E-Rock, yeah, but you can't do that on a retarded guy.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not completely
Shut up, you
retarded.
are. You are.
Shit.
Look, that bit mightn't be retarded, Jimmy. That bit might be.
You are. But Bobo, you're only 10%, you're saying?
Yeah. It's only a small percentage. And by the way, the doctors thought it was going to be worse when I was a baby. When I was 2 years old, when they messed up.
When they said 10% of you was retarded, they meant the brain area.
But they thought it was going to be a lot worse when I first had those urinary system problems. They thought it was going to be a lot worse.
Dude, his hair at the bottom, it's matted.
I turned out...
It looks like, you know, on the subway, you see someone with, like, they don't wash their hair for years, looks like a beaver's tail. It's just this...
They thought I was going to turn out a lot worse.
Dreads starting on his balls.
They thought I was going to be it was going to turn out so bad that I was going to be wearing a helmet. That's how bad they thought it was going to be.
A helmet?
How far off were they?
You're staying with your pants around your ankles.
They were very far off.
I'm interested. You do the pants up over the gut. I'm a tuck under the gut guy. Like I do that, right? So it means that my waistline's never changed. I've still got the same. I'm still at 33. I've always been at 33. Why that is?
Okay.
Yeah.
He pulled them right up.
I've gotten fatter.
It depends how long the pants are. If I'm wearing pants that have long pants legs, I'll put them a little bit more up.
Fascinating.
Because I don't want them to drag below my feet.
Really, Bobo.
God, Bobo.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Yeah.
You big cocked man.
All right. Well,
I wish it was a lot
slap
bigger.
Kenny's face with it.
I wish it was 2 more inches with. I wish that my dick was at least 2 more inches.
You couldn't deal with a 4-incher.
Yeah. If you're gonna wish it was bigger, it's not gonna come true. So you might as well say,
that's the genie for more.
I could handle a 4-incher.
Yeah, you can
handle a 4-incher.
How big is your penis, honestly?
It is about with erected 3.5 inches.
It must be nice that a girl can always deep throat you, though.
Yeah.
It's always a gift.
Bobo, what about the gay thing? 10% still?
Yes,
it's moving.
10%.
It's moving.
No, we did gay stuff, and it doesn't.
Just retracted when I said it's moving. It moved, and then it went back.
Yeah, it doesn't pop. It doesn't pop.
Would you be turned on with Sam's dirty asshole over your face?
No.
I thought you were 10% gay.
I think you like dirty asshole.
10% gay.
Look over there, there's porn there, though. There's
the
chick with big tits over there.
Look at those things.
Oh, man, who was
Imagine having that.
Look at it move.
Picture her, look at grandma's attic. Picture that right there.
You could get a tip wank just underneath one.
Listen to the noises he makes when he looks like
I know, he's like,
got the right amount of hair, just that nice little peach fuzz. Got that nice little peach fuzz.
You got the same thing, peach fuzz. Same thing.
He's a secretor.
He's got a massive toupee.
The bottom of it looks all scaly.
Horrible.
Oh, yeah.
It is just it's a mess.
Be in the bad
abomination.
Mess is not the word.
It's like, how's he got
mess is not the word.
If he's not shagging even, where's the little VD?
Is he a virgin?
I think so.
Unfortunately, yeah, but I wish there was a hot chick that would help me with that virgin problem.
Hot chick. How about any chick?
I have a wart on my cock that's the same size.
Any hot chicks interested, please contact me.
Oh, it's fucking up now.
On Facebook.
Holy shit.
Wow, he's a full...
Bobo, why are you getting hard? Because we're talking like gay stuff.
No, he's showing porn to him.
Yeah,
I'm seeing this
Did
image
you
of
say
a hot
a melted
chick.
chest piece?
Yeah, look at
it. Colin said it looks like a melted chest piece.
Oh, man.
That's funny. Hold on. Well, it was a bishop.
I think.
That's a nice chick.
It can go diagonally, but not...
Oh, Jesus,
That's a
Bobo.
nice chick.
That's a nice chick. Bobo, you a virgin, Bobo?
Yeah, unfortunately, I am.
Unfortunately. For who?
As I said,
But
so
I
where
don't
the
feel like
VDs come
sometime
from?
I gotta be able to lose it at some point.
Just pay for it, mate.
Well, the thing is, I don't have that kind of money.
Sent to the bunny ranch.
I'd tell you what.
I would love that.
Why don't we?
I would love that. I would love that. I could use a nice trip to Vegas.
Then why don't we do that? It's not in Vegas. It's in Reno.
Yeah, we'd love to send
Reno,
you there.
whatever. I'll have a memorable trip to Nevada. That's what I mean.
Nevada?
Nirvana.
Nirvana. That's yeah.
Nevada. I don't know how to pronounce. I don't know the right way to pronounce it. I just pronounce it with too much of a New York accent.
I'll chip in for that.
No, that's fair.
Oh, man, that's a hot chick.
We don't need chipping in. We just need to be able to do it.
Why can't you do it? It's completely legal.
I would love to take her in the hay. I would take this chick to the barn. I would let this chick
One bit of
bring me
advice:
into the barn.
when you go to the bunny
I can tell
ranch,
you.
have like 2 wanks that day. Empty yourself out so you can have a bit of a trip with it.
Talk dirty to her, Bobo. Let him talk dirty to her.
Oh, yeah,
This guy
this
really knows
chick,
what he's doing.
I could tell you, You're gonna get it. You're gonna see what Big City Cock is all about.
Big City Cock. It's the name of a bar on the Upper East Side.
It's actually a Scorpion song.
I hope. Oh, man.
I'm out.
I know
It's
you're
actually
a
become creepy
but you're
now.
about to
That was
get
the
some
time
New
for me.
York
Right?
attitude. That's right.
Really
What do you
This
want?
New Yorker's gonna go down, be down on the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go down. I want you to go down on me. You say you're down on the farm, you're gonna go down on the Bobo. That's right. You're gonna go down on the Bobo.
You can do that.
Yeah, that's right. I want you to show me your
He's just
milking
standing
skills.
there.
I feel
You're
like I'm
gonna
part of a crime.
I hear you.
I think you are.
Milking. I want to see your milking skills. Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
You show me your milking skills. Show me your milking skills. Milk that bitch. Come on. You know you milk it. You want some of that milk on
I'm
you.
gonna come.
You want some of that milk? Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna.
That's right. That's right. You form. You want some of the milk? Take that, you form bitch.
Yeah.
You want it.
Oh my God! For a guy who's never fucked anyone, he knows how to talk to him.
You know, Bobo told me an interesting story earlier about the type of pornography that he watches sometimes.
Oh, really? What kind
Yeah.
Well, it's been years since I've really jerked off to this, but I've jerked off to bestiality videos in the past.
What type of animal?
Exactly.
Well,
It depends on the animal.
Well,
Yeah.
I noticed like one of the ones I seen that was kind of interesting is always when chicks like get fucked by dogs, because for some reason
yeah.
that seems like
Just
very.
feels right.
No,
Yeah.
that seems more realistic because, for one thing, you don't see it isn't very common to find like a chick that has a horse,
Right.
Oh, no,
Especially-
there's a few. Have you ever-
unless the chick is on a farm. Or somewhere in a ranch or something.
Yeah,
You're not going to
yeah.
find any chick that have.
All right, we get that part.
But
The
there's a
horse
lot of
blowjob.
dog. There's a lot of dog.
That's good reasoning.
There's a lot of dog
It's
owners.
making
Good
a lot of
reasoning.
sense here.
So I
Yeah.
figured there's probably chicks that really love their dogs so much that when they're horny and they need some, and for some reason, as hot as they are, they don't have a man for some reason.
It's the biggest it's been
They'll
right now.
go to the nearest guy, and in that case, sometimes the nearest guy they can find is their dog.
And how does it play out when you see these videos?
Well,
like,
I'm sure
set the
you.
scene.
Well, I'm sure usually something like a dog would might. Well, I'm not sure how. They might have to do something to get the dog to want to fuck a human.
How would you
'Cause
get Bobo? How would you get the dog to fuck you?
Well, no, not me, but I'm talking about a female. I think how a chick would get a dog to fuck them.
I was
they
thinking
would
if the
put,
dog's
I don't know.
fucking,
They would get like a. I don't know.
participant.
I'm guessing one of the best things I guess they would use would be peanut butter, because I've seen once when I was asleep on a couch.
I've seen.
I did this. One time my sister thought it'd be funny to leave peanut butter on my feet.
What do we do?
And both of my sister's dogs started licking the peanut butter off from my feet. So I'm guessing a chick would put peanut butter on her asshole or even a clit, and the dog would just go fuck the crap out of them.
This is
They would be
great.
so horny. They would just lick that and just go start fucking the.
Wouldn't the dog just lick up some peanut butter and just move
Yeah,
on?
but I'm sure sometimes
All of a
the
sudden
dog.
his cock's going to get involved because
Yeah,
of peanut
but I'm
butter on
sure
the
some
ass.
dogs could be very horny. I can tell you that. Because I noticed how, because when I have a female cousin, and when she was visiting one of my sister's dogs, she's got 2 dogs already. We just got a second dog. His name is Mr. Balutigan. He's a schnauzer.
A schnauzer.
He's a very small.
We need a bell.
He's one of those
And
small.
like at the end of the match.
He's one of those very. He's a small dog, but for some reason, when my cousin Melissa picked up this dog, that dog had a boner. If you could see it, I think you had to use a magnifying glass to find
More
it.
like a real cock than yours.
To find a boner on that dog.
He's talking about the dog
has
and the
a small
erection's not
cock,
going
all right?
anywhere.
Yeah.
That dog has a small cock.
How would you
And
know?
my cock was big compared to his, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could tell that dog had a boner. The reason is I had my cousin picked up.
Everybody's
I
on
said,
their phones now.
I was saying to myself,
I know.
watch this.
You
I was
got
saying,
everyone texting.
I was saying,
That's not a good sign if you got all the hosts looking at their phones.
Yeah.
well, what I
You're
did
losing.
is I said,
You're
Melissa,
losing the crowd.
You're
I
losing
bet
the
you this
crowd.
dog will
Do
get
you
a...
hear anything? You're plowing through. You're losing everybody.
Bobo.
Oh, man, this chick's a hot chick, though,
Oh,
man.
God, Jimmy.
This chick in the shower? Oh, man, I would love to take her in the shower.
All right, Bobo. Thank you.
Oh, man, this
While
chick
you're in
would
there,
be...
wash your balls.
If he comes, I'm in the firing line, man. I don't want to be.
Firing line.
I don't want that 10% retarded cum.
What do you think? That fucking little pea shooter can get to you?
Bubba, we're gonna send you to Vegas.
I like his black underwear.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, that's sexy.
It's like he's Russian.
Wait, we sent.
Russian guys wear like dark underwear.
Well, the thing is, I'm mixed, but there's no Russian in me.
I don't ever wear white underwear because I got a bloody hemorrhoidy asshole.
Holy shit!
I have blood.
Oh
I have blood in my shit on a regular basis.
Really?
And there's nothing worse than a skid mark than a blood.
Have you had that
splotch.
checked out?
Yeah, but you bloody camera up the ass.
And what do they say?
Oh my God! Yeah, I know.
Hemorrhoids. I got hemorrhoids, me.
Amen to that.
Amen to that.
Amen to that. I've had hemorrhoids before, right? I had to have a colonoscopy recently.
Holy shit!
Colonoscopy.
You know what? I just realized we're being really rude. You haven't shown Colin Kane your asshole yet.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry, Colin. I'm really sorry. I apologize.
I've never seen it either. I'm very excited.
I apologize that.
Turn to me. I can't say.
If you think I'm not
so rude of us. I really apologize, Colin.
I was talking into the carpet.
Oh my God, those hairy fly's eyes just hanging out the bottom.
Bobo, they can't see anything yet. You know what? You gotta.
Oh God, this just.
I might need to get the. I might need to go for the hand sanitizer after this one.
That's an awful asshole.
Oh my God,
dude! I've never seen that.
Jefferies is hyperventilating.
Let me see that.
You know that hole in the grill?
He's doing Lamaze.
Wait, what?
That's an awful asshole.
That hole on the grill where they scrape all the shit into when you're making eggs. This is so disgusting. This is fucking Amy Winehouse.
Bobo, turn this way a little bit.
Jim's hungry. Jim's hungry. Keep turning.
Wow, that's
my eyes are watering.
Look at the little marker where the hair is, how sweaty they. Open it up, you fucking silly goose.
There's shit in there or something.
Oh my God.
Look out,
get in here.
Oh my God.
He looks just
What
ashamed.
do you wipe the back of your knees after your shit? What are you doing? You're missing your ass completely.
There's turkey.
Sam.
No, I wipe my ass.
Turkey from Thanksgiving.
Is that there's just a bunch of shit in the loading
I
dock.
smell open ass. Do you
In
smell
the loading dock? Is that what you call your asshole, the loading dock?
No, well, right before it shits. That's where it'll be in the loading dock. There's shit in the loading dock.
All right, that's kind of funny. The place that it comes down into right before you have to shit is the loading dock.
E-Rock.
You know what? All right, I'm gonna say that's kind of funny.
No, does it? You know, don't
Come on,
touch him.
E-Rock.
Does his butt smell? It looks like it smells.
It
Make
smells.
E-Rock,
Jim, I smell
hold on, Sam. Let him use his mic.
I'm not gonna have a
Do you smell it?
I once vomited on his
Jim, do
belly
you smell it,
button.
Jim?
No, why?
I smell it.
I smell it. I'm not getting up close though.
Well, there's a bunch of silent
It's
but
an
deadly.
asshole that's filthy. Of course you smell
It's
it.
silent but
It's like
deadly.
running
What do
over
you
a skunk
expect?
and going, I think I smell it.
Open up the cheeks, Bobo, for Christ's sake. Be a good guy. E-Rock, just smell.
Jesus.
There's some monster.
Oh, God.
It's like there's no sphincter, just a big line.
It's a hatchet wound.
It looks like if you didn't clean out a shrimp, just a black line.
He didn't devein his ass.
Just smell it. Just let it
It's
smell.
not that shrimp
And I can
shit.
tell you one thing. I had a colonoscopy recently.
virus
The
finally said
worst
something
feeling
funny.
ever.
Colonoscopy.
I had to drink this gallon of this liquid that's horrible
called cum.
tasting.
Stop talking, Bobo.
It's water.
Smell,
You're a soprano.
E-Rock, just smell. Open your cheeks, Bobo.
Open the other cheek.
Come on, Bobo.
Just smell. Don't touch him.
Put your face in. There we go. There we go.
Get in there, E-Rock.
Oh, E-Rock. Oh, dude. You know when you see a bodega, they put shit in the window and it just after the sun gets to it for years.
How much would I have to pay
It's just
you?
faded.
How much would I have to pay you
dude, it's
for you to reach in and pull a little clump of the hair out?
There's not enough. It looks like there's breadcrumbs in there. These little white pieces.
yeah.
It looks like Al Joseph's lips.
I got to tell you, the
might be
shape
maggots.
of it looks like a '70s vagina.
You know what
Yeah,
it
it really
does?
Yeah, Bobo, you got like a
if we
70s
tarnish his
vagina
asshole.
going on back there.
Turning his asshole, exactly. You do. It looks like you have a vagina.
Yeah, it's a straight up and down. It's not.
Yeah, you don't have a hole. You have a slit.
My asshole's as bad as that though.
Yeah?
Really?
I got a terrible.
Mine's a
looking one.
delight.
My one has a really swollen side of it. Like I've put some things up there, and then it's just. My asshole looks like it's had a stroke. It properly does.
Where did E-Rock go? He couldn't take it?
Well, I'm glad to say that I didn't get raped by Paul Haggis as a kid.
By Paul
That explains everything. Thanks.
Show reference.
It's a show reference.
Yeah, it's a show reference.
Linger longer. Right?
Linger longer.
Yeah, well,
right, Bobo.
with your asshole open.
Bobo, how's your comedy going?
Looking like a fool.
I'm opening for Vinny Brand on the 26th at the Stress Factory, New Brunswick, New Jersey. For more information.
Jim Jefferies' face was just one of complete and utter puzzlement.
For more information.
And he pointed over his
go
shoulder
to stressfactory.com.
What?
What did Vinny hired you?
stand-up?
No, but he
Vinny knows
gets
he'll
up on
get
stage
plugs.
and yeah.
Vinny's a smart
Believe
man.
me, I got some good stuff. Have you seen a video? The video the time I opened for Merch? Does anybody?
Give me one of your jokes.
know?
Give me one of your jokes.
No. If we're gonna do, if you want, we'll set up this place as a fucking comedy.
Well, first I need some hand sanitizer
place.
for
let him
for
clean up.
heaven's sakes.
You want-
I had to touch my own asshole.
He's the king of.
Wait, let him put on a new shirt, too. I got a bunch of shirts that I don't want.
Yeah, Bobo.
Go take me to the room and put on a new shirt.
Bobo, we're gonna
remove the headsets.
We're gonna
for me.
allow everyone to.
He's ordering you around.
We're gonna allow everyone to see how funny your comedy is, Bobo. We usually set this place up like a comedy place.
Don't touch the doorknob.
And Bobo's really good at dealing with hecklers, Jim Jefferies.
Do you ever feel bad about things like that? Like, as fun as it is to make a retarded guy split his ass cheeks open for you, and as innocent as it sounds, do you ever like sometimes just go
when I go home?
Yeah,
like in the moment, no, I could give a flying fuck about anybody. But the second I leave and I'm driving home, I'm like, oh god, that was really fucking awful. I'm a horrid person. I deserve nothing that. Any gains I have made from this business, I don't deserve because they've just been hurting people.
What are you doing? No one uses that much soap.
He's scrubbing up. You're ready for surgery.
I just touched asshole, for God's sake.
It was your asshole, though. You know where it's been.
What did you help Steve floss his teeth?
Yes. I just touched asshole. And I'm not talking about a Philly fan, for God's sakes.
Talking against Philly, yo. How's that asshole?
This season, I'm gunning for you guys. That's right. I'm kicking your asses, Philly, this year. This year, my Mets are kicking your ass this year.
You fucking mess. He just trampled
This
over.
year, Mets make the playoffs. I'm making a Philly fan eat my own jizz in a cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a little
And by the way, Ronnie B, I'm going to propose a sports bet with Ronnie B this year. If the Mets make the playoffs, get me a case.
Hold on a minute. Do you know who was asking about yesterday?
Who was asking about me?
No one.
No one, Bobo.
I figured I don't think anyone
I thought it would shut him up. I'm sorry.
That's harsh.
I got a sports bet proposal for Ronnie B.
Kenny, is this grounds for use of deadly physical force? Because I'm kind of feeling it.
Jimmy's got clothes for
I
you.
feel threatened. My life feels threatened if I keep listening to this.
I'm not really going to beat anybody up.
Yeah, we know that.
Put on a new shirt.
Yeah, we want to do something nice.
What's wrong with the old shirt?
Those are all my shirts. My girlfriend was so disgusted.
What's wrong with the shirt he's wearing?
It's terrible.
Why?
It's a T-shirt. You can't perform in that.
Yeah, get a good shirt on. One of those T-shirts.
No,
get a good shirt on.
You gave me that look of course you do.
Jimmy brought in a lot of stuff from home.
What are
that he's
those,
giving out
sex
today.
toys and stuff? Oh, no, it's
No,
cologne.
they're just awful things my parents gave me for Christmas.
Do you have like Drakkar?
No, they gave me Axe.
Body spray?
Yeah, I'm like, what am I, fucking, like your teenage Puerto Rican son? What am I going to do with
They
that?
gave you Axe in the chest, like fucking.
I got
shit.
it.
Okay, shut up. You got deodorant. He did Axe in the chest. I'm just going to Bobo fucking don't shut up mode.
It's a nice shirt.
Hey, Jimmy, you've actually performed in that shirt.
I have one I did TV with that my girlfriend wanted to.
That's it right there.
I'll show you one I did TV in.
No.
Bobo's putting on one of Jim Norton's really
It's a
nice
dress shirt.
Nice dress shirt.
Much nicer.
I guess you don't.
It's a shirt.
Button
I'm
shirt.
doing
Why
it and put it. Don't put it over your head.
There's one button buttoned on that dress shirt, and he was putting it on like a T-shirt.
He's putting it on like a T-shirt. It's a long.
That's all he knows.
She hated
It's Pavlov's idiot.
She hated this one.
What is? Ew.
It's a fucking bad shirt.
Good, she should. It's
I
got
have some
like
really bad clothes.
It's embossed. That shirt is embossed.
With little suns.
Yeah, little suns. And then you got another wrinkly dress shirt. Are those Van Heusen?
Right?
Good call.
Nice
Did you get them at
gesture,
Wallach's?
I hate to iron this when I get home. This is
Hey, Bobo, you look good in that shirt, man. It's a good shirt for you.
Shut up as Timmy's yelling shut up as Bobo tries on his nice shirt.
Yeah. Those black oversized jeans. Like, you know when an immigrant comes to, like, the U.S., they don't know what to wear, so they just wear these fucking huge jeans.
That is what he's got on.
I always get done in this country
He
wearing too
belongs in
skinny
the corner,
jeans. People
like,
always just tell me
selling
off.
fucking Coach bags.
Waiting for fucking...
Don't.
no, don't put it around.
Oh, no, don't. He's giving him a Michael Hutchins feel to the outfit.
He just put the belt around his neck.
It's hanging.
I don't know what clips of the kitties try to do with this. Try to make
Tie
this
necktie.
resemble a tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it a
there
tie.
you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Ties in here.
No, take the belt
Oh, he's
off
got
him.
a tie. Yeah, take the belt off from around his neck.
him.
That's scaring me.
Yeah,
Put it around my neck.
Exactly.
Have him drop
Put it
his
around my
pants.
fucking eyes. I don't want to see this anymore.
Horrible shirt. I wore that when I taped fucking the Metro Comedy Show on TV. That's a bad shirt.
Did you come straight from bowling?
Dude, that's a fucking horrible.
Yeah, that is a bowling shirt.
Colin Quinn told me I look like a Dominican, a Cuban domino player in that shirt.
He was absolutely
No,
right.
leave the other shirt on. You look good in the other.
No, this one's better.
All right.
Bobo,
That's a great shirt.
Bobo, that's an actual TV shirt right
Here
there.
we
He
go.
just morphed into someone else. Did you
No,
see that? There was a moment. There was a
You're doing the
moment.
buttons up wrong, mate.
Look,
Now let him. That's fine, Jim. That's fine.
Yeah, those are pants.
The one buttonhole.
probably have to
You
wear
ever
this
do that
when
when
I'm
you were
going-
5 years old and took the one buttonhole that was below the button and you button your shirt all the way up?
No,
That's what
please
Bobo's
let him
got
button
going
his
No,
shirt
that's
up.
perfect.
There you go, Bobo.
He looks good.
That's perfect.
You got pizzazz in that shirt.
Dude.
Look, Jim Jefferies is tapping out.
No.
He's tapping
I-
out.
He's got to be able to put his own shirt on.
Bowling against
You
my
have to-
brother David.
You have to tell him to wear the shirt properly. Like,
It looks good.
No, because that's what you do to another human being. If you see someone who's got with food on them or something like that,
That's pretty good.
You point it out. You don't just mock them.
Yeah, I am totally feeling Jim Jefferies here. I really am.
Hold on a second. I rushed when I button.
Yes.
All right, yeah.
Button your shirt properly.
Yeah, you guys are just going to
I
leave
rushed
him.
when I did this.
Yeah.
It's okay. Bobo, it's okay.
I feel
Yeah,
the
I know.
same way.
Bobo, you got material today for
You look
everybody?
better, Bobo.
Jim, when did you wear that shirt?
You got material?
A fucking years ago.
Like
I don't
years
have-
or like a year?
Wait, hold on. You know what? She hated the button has flames
I don't
on
have
it.
the new. I
can't
don't have
tell
the new
detail.
material, but I have to say this about.
No, don't do your
Hold
material
on,
yet.
you're not dressed yet.
Do you
Bad
want,
shirt.
I don't want to spoil it for the people that are about to see that
Don't
will be in
worry
the
about
audience.
it. Don't worry
I
about
don't want to
it.
ruin the surprise, but you
Don't
want me
worry
to
about
debut my Miss
No,
by Sarah
sometimes
Palin
they
thing?
sometimes
Yes.
they like to hear
Sarah
the old
Palin
jokes.
material.
He's going to do a Sarah Palin material.
Yeah,
today.
because she annoys me.
Hold on, we're not
She's-
doing it yet.
Isn't she your
Not
mum?
yet. Oh my God! And you're yelling at us?
By the
But
way,
that's
it's not-
funny. Come on.
But you're yelling at
Sometimes
us.
humanity goes out the window when you got a good one.
Yeah, but you got a good line. Fuck it all.
Exactly.
God, is that true?
Holy shit, that was good.
All right, Bobo, we're going to do it like this is a comedy place, all right?
All right.
And by the way, Colin, he loves hecklers. He's
Got it.
really good with hecklers.
They
Really
don't
good.
get- They don't get to me.
No,
Yeah,
no.
Jim Jefferies, he loves
Either
No,
good
women
hecklers.
could work a crowd.
Kenny, he loves hecklers. So Kenny's good. All right.
For all intents and purposes, I've been.
You want us to? You want?
An intro.
All right, why don't we?
That
All right,
outfit, man.
that's a good idea.
I got to think.
Yeah, we'll take a break, right?
And when we get back, Bobo does some stand-up
Yeah.
for Colin Kane and Jim Jefferies, both playing at Caroline's tonight through the weekend. 212-757-4100. Hit it. We got Jim Jefferies in studio today. He's fucking headlining Caroline's, and he only comes around like twice a year at this point. So make sure you get your tickets this weekend to see Jim. 212-757-4100. And one of the guys with Jim Jefferies this weekend is Colin Kane, a very funny comic that just needs a break in this business. I think everybody does, but Colin is
funny,
waiting
man.
for that fucking break to happen for him. And you're going to definitely like what he does at Caroline's as well.
I've been laughing my fucking ass off.
Yeah.
It's some funny shit.
Thanks, guys.
Very good, man.
Well, he had a line about the razor because Boba wasn't sure what to do with the razor, and Colin said something like, "How about you run it across your neck?" I heard it.
That in.
I heard it. That's fucking great. I heard it. People hear everything out there. So if you think you're throwing a line out, and you're like, "Oh fuck, I didn't get anything." Someone out there's laughing. So
Why is this here?
Someone brought in a whole.
you haven't done the heckle bit with Bobo
I
yet?
don't think he was here yet. I don't think he was here for that.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not up with this one, but I'm gonna, I'm gonna do it.
Not to.
It's the mob mentality. I've got to
really
be
is,
involved.
yeah.
Jim, it's not to.
Once you do it, it's fun.
Yeah, you'll see.
Yeah.
It's the first one.
I'll hit him.
Wait, it's like the first kill in the Nam. You know, you feel kind of bad, but then after a while you're taking ears. You don't care.
Hey,
four gooks today.
That's it. At first you're throwing up and crying and shit, and then you're just like, hey, take some scalps, some ears, teeth.
There's one thing I want to ask Colin before we move on to Bobo's stand-up. You stole some chick's car after you had sex with her?
Yeah, this was when I was down in Florida. I worked at Abercrombie.
Of course you
go
did.
figure that one out. Yeah, there's one guy in this room that could work at Abercrombie.
I did it because honestly,
I see you on a lot of bags.
I did it because I need some money, and then my manager, she was this hot chick, so she wanted to fuck, so I stole my girlfriend's car at the time, in the middle of the night, to go fuck my manager, and got pulled over.
You fucked your manager? It's a bad career. Maybe
Wait, hold on. The Abercrombie manager.
Oh, that wasn't a career job.
Yeah. What the hell? It's funny, the fucking car theft or the cheating didn't bother him.
Yeah, the manager.
It's the manager.
Don't ruin your comedy career.
You know, the girl that was making $12 an hour.
Right, yeah, fine. Yeah, fuck her.
Everyone knows once you get into comedy, the manager fucks you. Hey, motherfucker.
Yeah, hi-yo. That's such a funny thing after a joke. It's not the laugh a comic wants, but you'll take it. Hi-yo.
Tell me what happened now. You got pulled over.
I got a ticket, and then I had to explain it to my girlfriend where I was going, and she found out, and I haven't seen her. She hasn't talked to me since. This was years ago.
Oof.
And then I saw her recently walking down the street on 14th Street. We looked at each other in the eyes, and I kept on walking. It's just one of those moments.
Why did you say you were sorry? Make amends.
I did at the time.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I did at the time, but it's one of those things where, I don't know, you're not gonna...
What are you gonna say?
Yeah.
Why don't you just lie and say that you had a bad dream or you fucking needed to get out and think for a little while or anything?
Because at the time I didn't think about that. I was all fucked up.
So then when you went on to become the Hugo Boss underwear model.
Also, we have to lie because we have to keep our women. Right? He just fucking goes,
that is true. I was just going to fuck my manager, so I stole your car. Okay, take care. What a great way to live. I grovel if I'm watching a show she doesn't like.
Yeah, this motherfucker does look like he belongs on a soap opera or some shit. Jesus Christ.
All right, you guys ready for Bobo's stand-up?
No.
Never.
All right, let's bring him in.
The comedy stylings.
What else are we going to do?
Are we going to get a Club Soda Kenny intro?
Yeah. Also, I think Jackie the Joke Man wants to come in and say hi today.
Yeah? What's he up to?
He's just doing shows. He did Jay Thomas. He's done at 10, and he said, yeah, I'll come in and say hi to the boys.
Around.
Have we ever had him on the show officially?
Who?
Jackie the Joke Man?
I've never met Jackie.
Really?
No, actually, that's not true. I worked with Jackie once many years ago. He was actually really nice to me. People told me, yeah, he's a prick, and he was really nice to me.
He was nothing but nice to me the bunch of times I've met him. He seems like a real nice guy.
Yeah.
Is he like a...
He's like
he used to work for Howard.
He was on Stern Show for like 15 years. He's kind of a comedy legend. He's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Just telling Kenny something.
This has been a fun show.
It really has been. That will end
not
right
for
now.
listeners, but for us. It's one of those days. All right. Are we ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. Someone intro Bobo. He'll come in with one of Jimmy's TV shirts and do a little stand-up for Colin Kane and the great Jim Jefferies here, who, by the way, has been killing on the show the last 2 days. He needed a compliment.
I got my compliment.
You got your compliment.
There's your compliment.
There you go.
Fished around for it. You got it.
There you go.
Yeah, Jim's like, well, I'm doing my best. You know?
Jim fucking is.
Yeah, Colin's doing really well. Yeah.
No, yeah, during the break, I go to Colin, hey, man, you're doing real well, because it's the first time on our show.
I'm joking.
What the fuck?
Poor Jim feels like he has like the sophomore jinx.
No, Jefferies.
I don't even know what a sophomore is. I still laugh then. I was just saying
because Jinx made it funny.
The listeners think you're one of their favorites.
I don't need any more compliments. I was joking. I don't need the compliments.
I am just letting you know
I'm
that.
very
They
good.
fucking love you.
But they don't wish that he was here every day and I wasn't.
No.
So now the insecurity will just go around the room.
I've read those forums. Sometimes if I talk too much, it's like, who does he think he is?
Oh, yeah,
he
fuck
cut
that.
off one of Jimmy's jokes, and you're like, oh,
You're kidding, right?
Yeah, I am.
That was me who wrote that. Jane Norton.
I read that. It was good. It was good spelling, man.
That's funny.
All right. Yeah, who's going to intro Bobo?
Kenny. Kenny's the only. No one does an intro like Kenny.
All right, Kenny, take it away.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I couldn't be happier.
Tickets on
Coming to the Opie and Anthony Show stage. Please put your hands together for this next act. He's got a mangled cock and a smelly asshole. You're really going to love him. Here he is. Show him some love. Bobo.
All right.
Going, I have to say, I was watching Leno last night, and I noticed Sarah Palin was on, and man, I have to say, that woman's a fucking bitch. She is the reason why we're stuck with Obama. I was pissed off that John McCain went with her as a running mate. That woman did nothing but held McCain down. All right? For one thing, this is the reason. I think he made a mistake because she's way too conservative, all right? Just look at her. She did a freaking, she's way too conservative. And her daughter, Bristol, I have to admit she's hot. If I would have been with her, I would have told her,
you're losing her.
abort that damn thing, all right?
I'm back.
I don't want to have to deal with these. I do not want to have to deal with these payments, all right? Jesus. I don't want to deal with. I don't need to deal with these settlements, all right? I would have told Bristol, abort that thing. I don't need to deal. I don't go to your job telling you that. I don't know your job telling you that. All right?
That's not even the joke.
No, but he actually is at your job.
I'm going to your job saying that, all right?
Yeah.
But I have to admit, though, Palin is too conservative, all right? She is way too conservative.
How conservative is she?
I cannot say to her. She thinks you're supposed to carry the burden of so many kids, all right? Listen, I don't care about your ideals. I use the rubber, and I will say, if my bitch ain't ready, if I'm not ready to handle the being a father,
Not funny.
I would tell that chick, abort that thing. Abort it. Damn it.
You suck.
Abort it.
3 inches.
I got it. All right. I got mine's bigger than yours.
You suck. Boo! Now the stuff starts getting thrown at him.
Yeah. Okay.
Boo!
You got to win the crowd back, man. You got to win the crowd.
Why aren't you fighting the crowd, man?
You got to put the Palin. You're so conservative. You're freaking so dumb. I can't believe how dumb you are.
How dumb is she?
She's so dumb. She doesn't have a clue. She doesn't have a clue anything past Alaska. You should have stayed in Alaska. Damn it. John McCain, you should have left Palin in Alaska and felt some more experience. We don't need that. That's the reason why too many people voted for McCain over you.
Enough of the Palin shit.
Yeah,
And then Obama.
Can we have some sex jokes? Some sex jokes?
Move on.
Well,
punchline.
Well, I have to admit that I'm not so big down there, all right? I'm not the prettiest thing down there. Shut up, you
epic fail.
You idiot. Shut up, you idiot, right?
You what? Why aren't you fighting
Shut up,
back?
you what?
You're not,
Shut up.
You're not fighting the hecklers.
What
like
did you say?
usually do.
Shut up, you what?
Shut up, you asshole. I don't go to your job.
That's because they don't have a ramp.
You are in my job.
Well, not everybody has a cock as big as yours.
Not everyone has a cock as big as yours.
What an insult that is.
Not every white guy was...
God damn it, he said I had a big cock. This motherfucker, I'm going to punch him when he got
Not
something
every
to
white guy was
woman,
blessed with the
stupid.
cock of a black guy.
It's saying you never had to develop your personality because of it.
Yeah.
It was quite cunning.
Not every cock was blessed with the cock of a black guy.
Oh, wow.
I'm a white...
Did you hear what Colin said?
I was pretty much blessed with the cock of a white guy.
Bobo goes,
Actually, I think I was blessed with the cock of a Jewish guy.
He just won't even.
I was blessed with a Jewish cock.
Bobo goes, I don't go to your work, but he doesn't answer, so Colin goes, yeah, because it doesn't have a friend.
I was blessed with a Jewish cock.
Right back into it he goes.
My father was part Jewish.
Hold on, hey, fucking wrecking ball, hold on.
That's gonna be the line of the day, that one, man.
Oh, goddamn. So, you can move on. Come on, tell some jokes, motherfucker.
Well,
dance. What's wrong with you?
Well, I have to say, I was watching Fox News.
Oh, yeah?
I'm freaking tired of how manipulative they are, right? You people who voted for Obama, you didn't vote for Obama because you thought he was the right person for the job. You voted for him because you were stupid enough to believe what stupid Fox News told you. I can tell you.
Fox News is conservative.
CNN is the boo! You
Get your facts straight.
You fucking piece of shit, you suck! I didn't pay for this shit!
And those news channels are all the same to me.
I want a refund! Fuck this!
You're losing a Bobo.
Fuck you too late, you're already paid.
Fuck you!
Fuck you,
No refund.
You suck at comedy!
I'll be fucking bitches thanks to your money.
What?
I'll be getting laid thanks to your money. Congratulations. You just paid for my night. You just paid for me getting laid.
Getting a prostitute?
I haven't paid for it yet.
Yeah, but you just get paid. You just got paid for me losing my virginity.
You just got paid
I'll be losing my virginity thanks to your money.
Wow.
Congratulations.
What a...
Congratulations. I'm getting laid thanks to your money.
You see me where I am right now? In my place.
In your place? Yeah,
you put me
you
there.
have been put there properly.
I'm getting laid thanks to your money.
Yeah, we heard that already. Come on. You suck.
And then the other thing, I notice too many people are afraid to go to say they voted for McCain when they're in a black neighborhood. But let me tell you, I ain't afraid to say I voted for Obama. You guys just vote for a black guy because he's black. You don't even look at how smart he is. You'll vote for the dumbest fuck. You would vote a black girl ran for president.
Say it.
You would vote for him.
Say it.
Come on, Michael Richards.
You would vote for him if he was president. But I can tell you, I'm not that dumb. I'm not that easily manipulated by CNN and all these other fucking news channels that are manipulated.
On. Jesus Christ. Be
I
funny.
voted for McCain.
Be funny.
I didn't think he was going to be as political.
And then,
Yeah, I know. It's very political, based humor.
And then let me tell you, I've also been through so many surgeries.
No, we heard all that.
Here we go.
No. We heard all that.
I've been through so many surgeries.
Bobo, do your racist material.
And I did that part already. That's in the same category as the Obama thing.
No,
right?
you don't.
No.
You've done a lot of racist material on our show over the years. But you could break out some of the old stuff about the delis.
I'll tell you something. I've noticed lately when I was taking a bus a few days ago.
What size was the bus?
Everything seems pretty much normal, like bus trip. But I noticed they use these brand new buses, and they have these things that don't make sense. They got these computerized announcements, which I like.
That's just your friend, and he's speaking spell.
No. I think it's better than these things that are clearer. But I can understand on the subways that they need announcements, but they don't need fucking announcements on a bus. I can hear the driver. These drivers yell. I'm not moving. I can hear it quite clearly when they say, "I'm not moving this bus one bit unless you move right
you're not
before
funny.
the yellow line."
Do you understand? You're just babbling about here's your act. And then I went into the elevator and hit 3, and I got out on the 3rd floor, and I walked down the hallway. And you're just talking. There's no jokes here. There's nothing funny about anything you're saying. Anything.
You're doing Steve Martin.
What are you doing?
Trades planes and automobiles.
These announcements.
You finally had it.
I had it with him.
All right, Bobo, listen.
My wife likes me.
You don't need to say the doors are now opening.
Bobo, we're packing your stuff up because we got
What are you
Jackie the Joke Man wants to
Do you
say
do
hi.
any impersonations?
No. We got to move on because Jackie's here, man.
Where's Jackie?
Jackie's outside the studio, Bobo. Why don't
Bring
you
him in. Just bring Jackie in. You can't make him wait.
Damn.
Why don't you sit down there, Bobo? Are you set?
Yeah, Bobo, take a goddamn seat.
Yeah, take a seat there.
You're a mess.
Yeah, we're
It was all right.
Oh, you're going to do that at the fucking...
Put your heels up.
You doing that at the comedy club?
Yeah.
That one I'm not doing.
That one you're not doing?
You're not gonna do that one?
It's material he's working on.
That's his. Yeah.
It's
that's
only
his,
you're only seeing the seed of what it could be.
Oh, that's good.
yeah, exactly.
In front of
You don't want to spoil anything.
over a million
I'm not gonna
people,
do that thing
probably
about
half
the
of them
boss.
actually.
We're
He's
we're
still
all
talking.
comedians, so we're hypercritical as well.
That's true. Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna use the better material, right?
Yeah.
You did good, Bobo.
You're gonna have to lift the microphone up, mate.
Good, Bobo.
I'm gonna use the better material.
You did good, Bobo.
Yeah.
Good, Bobo. Good.
I'm gonna use
You
the
did good, Bobo.
Good, Bobo. Good.
Like the commercial going on, you know,
Using the
Channel
better
4, like, good dog. You know that?
ruin the surprise for anybody.
You nailed it. Jim nailed it, yeah. They had that where you in the UK?
Yeah. At the end of
thought that
TV
was-
shows, but it's a production company, wasn't
Okay,
it? So
all right.
if we got the same TV shows,
I knew that.
it sounds like Bobo's like a good child's book, like Bobo tell jokes. Bobo
goes to the big circus.
Yeah, Bobo has infected penis. Bobo get hooker. Yeah, were you happy with that routine, Bobo?
I was happy with it, except for having to use some of the B stuff. Because I'm not so thrilled about you doing that whole bit about the bus, all right? Because that's not one of my better stuff, all right?
How many minutes of material do you think you have all up?
A couple hours.
Well, I could
He's
come
ready
up-
for an
I could come
HBO
up with
special.
a half hour. I could come up with 40 minutes worth of stuff.
Yeah.
40 minutes,
Believe me,
yeah.
I spent time getting ready for this stuff.
Oh, you
all right?
did?
Yeah.
You can tell.
You
Oh,
woke up?
no.
Well,
Hold on,
that
guys.
stuff I was just using some.
Hold on, we got Brittany on the line. Bobo,
I
thank
assume he
you.
has a lot of spare
Brittany.
time, so.
Yeah.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi. How can you do this to poor Bobo? I mean, he doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yep.
And you're totally exploiting him and making fun of him. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
You sound hot, Brittany.
I agree. I feel terrible, and it's going to ruin my weekend.
It's kind of weird. We all feel terrible about it. Brittany.
Yeah. I feel so horrible about this.
Yep.
Like, he doesn't even know what the fuck he's saying. You guys are just going on.
But we're going to buy him a hooker, so swings and roundabouts.
Brittany, maybe you're not falling in the bracket of the demo. How old are you?
I'm 19.
All right, Brittany. Let me tell you something. I
Send
feel
Bobo
very
over.
bad about this. Maybe you could teach me how to be more human at my house this weekend.
No, fuck you, man. Like, what
All
the
right,
fuck?
she's right. You want to fuck?
How would you feel if you had a
What?
child that came out retarded? And
What?
then you had people.
How would he feel? He'd take up his karate kicking skills again because he missed the first time.
What's the matter, Brittany? Does this hit too close to home? Do you have somebody who's a little slow in your family?
You'd feel like you should have cut the cord a bit sooner.
No, Brittany, what's the problem? I think you're right, dear.
You're 19. Who do you look like as far as celebrity goes? Everyone looks like one.
I don't fucking know.
Don't people tell you like, hey, you look like such and such a celebrity?
Yeah.
I've been told that I look like Snooki.
The Jersey Shore.
Let's hope you get treated like her.
I understand your empathy now because you look retarded as well.
Oh, shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Brittany.
I'll be at Caroline's all weekend if you want to come.
Snooki's not a good-looking girl.
Are you
know
short
that,
and
right?
squat and fat like Snooki?
What?
Are you short, squat, and fat like Snooki?
No, she's not short and fat and squat either.
She is.
Yeah, she is.
Tall and
Yeah.
blonde. The shape of a stegosaurus.
Girls that have like a little bit of a figure on them.
She's like a stump.
Oh, you
that
have a
girl.
little bit of a figure?
She has a body like the Tasmanian devil.
What size tits you got? What size what cup size are you?
What?
What?
Yeah, how's your top?
Yeah, we're trying to find
come
out.
on.
We're trying to find out how big your tits
What kind
are.
of question is that?
It's a fucking reason.
Fine, I'll play along with it. They're fucking F cup.
F cup.
Jesus. Your tits probably smell like lamb underneath.
F cup. It sounds like a cop show.
F cup.
Yes.
Yeah, you're huge. You don't have an F cup and you're petite.
So what's your waist size? If you got an F cup, what's your waist size?
I'm not telling you my fucking leg size.
Oh, but tell us your tit size.
Yeah, tell us your tit size.
No,
So
what is your
someone's
waist
got
size?
something. Yeah, what's your waist?
What is your waist?
What's inches we talking?
Yeah, come on. Don't be ashamed of it. Who cares?
Yeah, come on.
49.
If it's really big, I'll just fuck the F cups.
Wait, you want my shoe size or my leg size? How do I do my
No, your waist.
Your
Your
waist.
waist.
Your pant
waist.
size.
Yeah.
50. Well, I'm 5'4", so whatever.
How much you weigh?
I don't know if that helps.
Oh, yeah, how much you weigh? That's a good question.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
come on.
130.
All right, cool. So that means
so that's
140 and she's 5'3".
145.
All right, cool.
5'3". Jackie!
Perfect timing. What's up, Jackie? Good to see you, buddy.
Jackie?
It's been a while.
What's up, man?
Many moons.
Yeah,
Seen in a while.
Still cooking?
Yeah, things are good.
That girl, she came on with all the good intentions.
I know.
Oh, Jesus, Bobo's gonna fucking chime in.
We've put the paper down the floor in case Bobo shits himself.
Jackie would be the least likely person I would expect to find on the Opie and Anthony show.
Why is that, Bobo? You're gonna bring up, like, fucking
I
what?
don't know. I would be.
I just walked in here and you just start breaking my balls already. I'm a nice enough guy to walk in here, see my friends.
That's right.
And right away, you're getting fucking fresh.
Bubba, we have no problems with Jackie the Joke Man whatsoever.
Why are you talking shit, Bubba?
Yeah,
No,
why are you
because
talking shit?
Well, I got the mad respect for Jackie. He's very funny, but I would be least likely to expect a guy that's become more associated with Howard to show up here.
Why?
We've had Howard guys on our show, Bobo.
Yeah, I know
I
that.
just did Jay Thomas. I have my own show on Howard 101. I'm a serious guy, and these guys are serious guys, and we're old friends.
Yeah, how about we yank Bobo out of the studio?
No, I got good respect for Jackie.
Good respect. Not just respect.
Oh, no,
That's what we do for you, Jackie.
Wait a minute, wait. Did they just physically drag? You didn't remove him. You dragged him.
You can't manhandle a retard. It's just.
I didn't do it.
That should be a commandment.
I just said we need to get him out of the studio.
That looked very wrong to me.
Clubs out of Kenny.
I totally dragged him out of the
That was
the room.
horrible.
That really was bad.
Norton, that had nothing. I had nothing to do with that.
No,
you know that.
absolutely not.
I caused none of this.
No.
Nothing.
I walked in. They invited me. I walked in.
That was all
what
you
the
did.
hell have I done wrong? I haven't said anything funny. I haven't said anything dull. I haven't done anything except watch. Who is that?
Except for cause
Bobo.
You caused a retard to be thrown out on his ass, man.
Jackie, you should feel bad about yourself.
I hope Kenny didn't grab his arm because
we have
a couple of foot-pounds of pressure per square inch.
I just hope these guys don't say, "Gee, I'd like to see Jackie dragged out of the studio."
No. Jackie, it's fine. He's cool.
Who is he?
He's just the guy that
he's
comes
the guy.
in every so often on Friday, and he wants
I went to
be
shake his hand. It was like shaking a marshmallow.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to. You shouldn't have shaken that hand. You don't know where it's been all day. Sanitized.
Remember your years on Howard's show?
Yes, I do.
You've seen a million of those.
So that was not one of you, it was one of them.
It's one of those.
Yeah,
That's one
it
of
was
those.
your Opie and Anthony whack pack.
One of them.
Yeah, it's one of those guys. You know the deal. He's fine.
I noticed he had a comfortable chair, though. I noticed that.
I know, you're sitting on the shitty.
Yeah, he's got a chaise lounge. I'm sitting here.
Do you want to switch? You want to sit there?
No, fuck no. He was sitting there.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to
Only
share
the best
that
for
seat.
us. They gave us the best couch, man.
He
Look
may
at
have
that.
urinated. So, hi, guys. I always wondered what was behind this curtain. The curtains are always closed. I wonder what the hell's going on in here.
Well, it's, Sirius doesn't like us having any kind of pornography on the screens with the windows open, and since we pretty much constantly have pornography on the screens, we have to keep it shut.
I understand.
Yeah.
You look very healthy. You look like you lost weight, man.
I lost 55 pounds, and I'm ready for my close-up, and I'm having fun. I quit drinking a long time ago, and I thought that was going to be my deal with the devil. I was going to get a perfect body, and you forget when you quit drinking, you start eating.
Right.
So I was a big fat. So the best way to lose a lot of weight is to get real fat. So I was like 215, and in the summer, my girlfriend said, "You're too fat," and I just said, "Well, fuck this. I'm going to, all I did was ride my bike and eat like a human. All the billions of dollars on the stupid diets. The secret is to not eat a lot. They could spend billions of dollars and jump through all these fucking hoops, and it's just don't eat so much, and it falls off,
Where are you living? I met you, I think, once with Colin. Did you used to live in his building?
Yeah, we live together. No, we live in the same place, and I live out in Bayville on Long Island.
Oh,
on
you
the
still
North
there?
Shore.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I get, and I commute at night and smoke pot, and I got a great life. If I wasn't out of money, I'd have the greatest life in the world. I don't work, that Stern money will last forever. And you know what today is? Forever.
Forever. You made it to forever.
If you keep spending it, you wind up having less. Did you ever know that?
Yeah, that does go away.
I was making so much money, and I know you guys can relate to this.
Definitely.
I was making so much money
Keep talking.
And you spend it and you have a great time. And then I quit my job and I was like, well, I'll just change my lifestyle.
You can't.
And then you go out to dinner and say, well, I'll start tomorrow. And then you buy this. And like, I'm going to the Cannes Film Festival. It's costing me $1 billion. I can't. People's like, how do you afford that? I can't fucking afford it, but I'm going because I'm scared. I'm so scared I'm going to die with money in the bank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, zero balance when you drop that.
Yeah, I want to spend my last $20 tipping the guy as he throws me in the fucking hole, you know. But you just don't change your lifestyle. You just keep spending and spending and spending because it's fun, you know. But what's the sense of piling up some money if you can't go through the pile? You know?
How long did it take you to kind of go through it?
It's been like 8 years. I'm not quite done. I'm not quite done.
Jesus
you know,
Christ.
I made a real lot of money the last 2 years and a decent amount of money the 3 years. You know what I mean? I made very little. Everybody knows how much I screamed and yelled and bitched and walked out of the show to try and make more money. If I hadn't have screamed and yelled all those times, I would have never gotten into the ballpark where I was making decent money. You know? So I didn't make a lot of money for 15 years. I made a lot of money for 2 years.
I remember the For Our Own Purposes letter.
Oh, God, I went on.
That was a good
Do you
one.
want to, the
They read
greatest
his letters on the air.
The
about,
greatest
like, wanting a raise.
negotiation.
It was great.
I don't stop me if this is too boring for your show because I don't know your show.
No, don't worry about it.
I used to go on the road. And so I befriend everybody I meet. So I go to the affiliates, you know, and I'd always do shows. I was like the ambassador. I'd do stand-up anywhere because they always wagged a lot of money. And I was making enough money on the show. I didn't need to do stand-up. But, you know, you do stand-up for no money. All of a sudden they waggle money. Yeah. You can't say no because you know someday you're going to be where I am now, you know. So I go to this place and the general manager becomes my friend and he explains to me how much money they spend, and they tell me all the details. And it turned out that it was $250,000 to have the Howard Stern show. No matter how small you were, they didn't start talking to you unless it was $250,000. Wow. So I knew that that's how much they got per affiliate. So it came up time for my contract. I was making $300,000, and they offered me a 10% raise. Jeez. And I said, I don't want a 10% raise. And Tom Chiusano said, how much do you want? And I said, $100,000. And he fell off the chair. Now, this friend of mine said, listen, when you go on stage, you tell jokes. That's what you do. That's your job description. Your general manager, his job description is you walk in and ask for a raise, he falls off his chair. Yeah. That's his job. Now, since it had been 2 years since my contract, and we had added 10 affiliates. Now, I know that the smallest affiliate is $250,000, even though a bunch of them were a lot bigger. So I know there's 10 affiliates at $250,000. So I thought to myself, $10,000 per affiliate. Okay, that's 1/25th. I'm 1/25th of the Stern Show. I got to be, right? So I figured 10 new markets, $10,000 times 10, $100,000. Made sense. I go into Tom Chiusano. This is so fucking beautiful. I walk, and I love him, but I sat down. And he said, how much you want? I said, $100,000 raise. And he fell off his chair and he said, where did you come up with a figure like $100,000? I said, it's very simple. I know that every affiliate is at least $250,000. And I figure I'm 1/25th of the show, which is $10,000 times 10 affiliates, $100,000. And he looks at me and he goes, Jackie, 1/25th of $250,000 is not $10,000. I said, do the math. And he turned sideways, turned on his ladding machine, and did $250,000 in 1/25th. And his shoulders fell 3 inches. It was the greatest negotiation. Because he didn't say, you're crazy, or that's too much money. He told me my math was wrong. And it wasn't. And he was like, well, you're going to go have to talk to Don and Mel, you know.
Yeah. Did you get it?
It's such a classic. I walked in, and Mel, I don't care if I should be talking about this, and Mel wrote down the 5-year deal and added it up, so I'd be walking away from not that year's money, but the 5-year figure, which was staggering to me at the time. And I said, you know what, that's a beautiful offer, and I love it, and I love working here, but I drew a line in the sand for myself, and I said, if I can't make $400, I'm leaving. And I left. And
wait, Jackie, I got to jump in for 1 second. Someone has to say this.
He has no agent.
What? No, I don't care about that.
Should I not be talking about this?
Oh, yeah.
What? Oh, with the money thing?
No,
this is
great.
past stuff. He can
Yeah,
talk
it's fine.
about past
Yeah,
stuff.
fucking great.
Jackie, what I have to say is, because we've heard the rumors over the years, you were making only, I have to say it, only $300,000. You were a huge part of that show. And
No, this is not the last negotiation. This is a couple of negotiations ago.
Earlier.
This is way earlier.
Even so.
Even so,
Yeah.
I mean, it's more than reasonable to give you $100,000 is what I'm saying.
Sure.
I'm trying to stick up for you.
Please.
More than reasonable, because we all... I mean, I'm trying to be. I'm really trying to be cool here. I don't want to blow up anyone's spot, but I mean, everyone knew how much he was making, and everyone knew how important you were to that show. So I'm thinking 100,000.
It's the classic. You would think.
All right,
you would think.
But someone has to say that for you.
I know, and thank you.
I don't want you to say it. I thought you were asking for $1 million.
Well, years later, like at one negotiation, when I told Dominic Barbara what I was asking for, he said he had to pull over on the side of the road because he couldn't believe how small the figure was.
That's a small
You know
figure.
what I mean?
So, Jackie, you actually went in and negotiated. You're obviously a very honest guy because you could sit there with Mel without going through an agent. I wouldn't have the balls to do that and just go, look, this is what I
they
deserve.
screamed at me for not having an agent, so then I got a lawyer, and then they instantly hated the lawyer. A lot of it's theater, but it was very interesting. But I walked out, and I was done, and then Howard called me up and said, listen, I got to have you, and he paid the difference.
Okay, good.
He actually paid the difference. And I love the show, and I never had any problem. And my last time when I left, it was like, I don't know, but I'm such a hypocrite. Because you draw a line in the sand. Like if somebody said, Jim, do you want to work a job in Alaska? You don't want to work the job, but instead of saying no, you say 150 grand. If they give you the 150 grand, fuck it, I'm going to Alaska.
Right.
So I drew a line in the sand for myself and said, I'm going to stick to this. And when I said what I wanted and when I didn't get it, I didn't do it. But then I called back a couple of months later and said, listen, if you give me the offer you offered, I will take it. So I'm a hypocrite. But I was the guy that broke up the Beatles. I felt like an asshole, But you got to draw a line in the sand and just say, this is, this is where I was.
Do you have regrets about that?
No, that's the final one.
And everybody for 8 years has been saying, we want to hear you say you regret it. Howard wants to hear me say, I don't, man, I've been having the time of a lifetime for 8 years. I got divorced. I left my job. I quit drinking and moved into a home by myself all at the same time. And any one of those is enough. Any one of those, they say, if you're going to quit drinking, don't change anything else. If you're going to quit your job, don't change anything. And I did all four at the same time. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Right. Turn me into an idiot. But for 8 years, I've been going to Cannes Film Festival and Toronto and Sundance and trying to get
of your life. Just you're broke, but you're having the time of your life.
It's wonderful. And people want me to say, "Oh, I left the greatest show," And you know how fucking hard it is these hours. I was going to die. I could have never quit drinking. I couldn't imagine me trying to get divorced on that show. They would have pulled my wife over the parking lot spikes backwards. I wouldn't care what they did to me because I never cared what they did to me. I used to tell people half the shit that Howard said about me I wrote. People couldn't wrap their brain around that. Say, Jackie's an asshole. Yeah, say that.
Jackie's an asshole.
So you, Howard, a gig, man. You're still going out doing gigs, right? You still performing?
Yeah.
And he's got a show on Sirius XM.
For the, 1/100th of what I used to make. But you love it. You do it. That's what we're lifers.
And what's
your
show about on Sirius XM?
Dirty jokes. An hour of dirty jokes. We just did our 164th show.
Wow.
And it's an hour of dirty jokes. We all tell a joke, the opening salvo, we tell a joke, the guests tell a joke, then we have jokes that we, setups for 2-line jokes, and then we, give the answers the next week and callers calling. It's just the stupidest, most fun. It's the most fun I've ever had on the radio. It's an hour of stupid jokes.
How many do you? I'm a horrible joke teller, like the type of joke, like a setup of, and then the Jew says, I'm the fucking horrible at that. It's
most comedians, there's two things you don't do. You don't tell jokes and you don't laugh at yourself. And I break both rules. That's why I've never gotten anywhere. But I fucking love it. That's all I do. I didn't go looking for an act. I told jokes my whole life, and I was a musician. I was shitty, and I quit music when I was 31, and I had all these jokes, and I didn't want to leave the stage, so I just started telling the jokes on stage and ran into a couple of comics. And I helped start comedy on Long Island. We did a show at Cinnamon, next to two doors away from your brother.
Yeah.
at the corner of Main Street and 110, and that grew into the East Side Comedy Club, the first comedy club.
You can say F.H. Riley's in the heart of Huntington Village. No one will mind. No one will mind.
I've dragged people there after my show.
Oh, really? Thanks, Jack. I appreciate that. I tell you, his cadence is so good. When I'm flipping around Sirius XM and you're on, I don't know.
A Raw Dog or something
Most likely Raw Dog. I stop every single time and listen, man.
Oh, that's sweet, man.
It's just something about your cadence.
And you know what it is?
It catches your attention. You're like, I got to listen to this for a little while.
But it's the same old shit. You know, in 1979, I said, you know what? I just got to fill up albums with jokes because everybody's not going to want it. But everybody didn't have to want it. You know, everybody doesn't like opera. But if you want a collection of dirty jokes, I said, God, if it's one person out of 100, I'll do great. It wasn't. It's like one person out of every 10 million. So I never sold any albums. But the whole point, I'm one of the most requested guys on Raw Dog because you listen to Jim Norton, you listen to Sam Kinison, you listen to George Carlin, you're screaming, laughing. But you can't get out of the truck and go say something. You listen to you guys for 20 minutes, then you hear 3 dick jokes from Jackie. The guy can get out of the car and go into the deli and tell one of the fucking jokes. So they love me. You know, I mean, it's got nothing to do with me. I'm just a conduit to get the stupid jokes to people, which is what I've always been, you know.
Did you have any, when you, because we were off the air for 2 years and it was fucking.
Oh, it's brutal.
It was different circumstances, but I just felt like I will never recover from this. I finally had something that allowed me to draw an audience. Did you have any regret, like, even though it might have passed, did you have any depression or any of the stuff of like just wishing you hadn't done it?
There was no regret that I wish I hadn't done it, but the one thing that's the most obvious thing that never dawned on me is to sit in that room with Fred Norris, who's the quickest, fastest, funniest, most talented person in the world. Nobody knows how unbelievable. You know, you start saying a sentence to him, before you get to the end of the sentence, he's saying something funny about it, and smart and witty. And being with Fred and Howard and Robin for 15 years, it's an unnatural situation to be sitting in a room for 4 hours laughing. You'd sit there and laugh, and you didn't even realize how much that's doing for your head or how fucking wonderful that was. And that's what I miss. Not the money, not the fame. It's 8 years later. They still play me so much on that thing. I'm as famous, walk down the street. As many people know me now as knew me 8 years ago. It's never fallen off. Not that a lot of people know me, but as many.
I understand.
It's a very small amount of fame. It's a comfortable amount of fame. But sitting there and just, you know, guys, you sit here and laugh. It's like, wow, I don't have that anymore.
Well,
that's why I want to go in and sit down with people. That's what I could care less about the negotiation or anything, but the regret is, you know, you go to a bar and sit with a few guys and shoot the shit for a couple hours and tell a bunch of jokes. I get the same jizz, the same jazz. You know,
that was the problem when we got fired for 2 years. We were being paid. We were being paid.
But fuck the money.
It wasn't even about the fucking money.
Not even a little bit. It was being in this.
Wanting to fucking hang out.
Yeah, Opie, why don't you come over and let's sit and laugh for 3 hours?
We get on the phone. We get on the phone and do a show for two people. We're flipping through channels, just making jokes.
And you don't even realize you're doing it. Like, Jesus Christ,
it's like, boy, this would have been funny for a few million instead of 2.
And that must have been the same for you. I lost both of their numbers and immediately hopped on Colin Quinn's fucking coattails.
Wow, what a coattail that was.
Well, I understand that.
Right into a brick wall he ran.
How long ago was this? How long ago did you lose the show for?
That was
August of 2002.
It's been a while now, but 2002
came back
to 2005.
Was this the infamous church?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was 2 years.
26 months total.
2 years, 3 months.
Wow.
No compete. They made the show.
We tried to get out of the contract because we had Clear Channel ready to go.
Did you just drink all day?
Hold on, I'm telling Jackie something here. Clear Channel had us ready to go. They ready to throw us on.
I never understood that non-compete.
And they said
such horseshit.
They wanted control. They knew we would maybe hurt, the company a little bit if we went somewhere else. So they said no.
Which is flattering.
It was very flattering, Jackie.
But flattering and money and all that is not sitting around laughing and having the time of your life.
After a while, you realize, like, everybody you know is working, so there's no one to hang out with. You're just, you wake up and go, I'll grab a couple of beers.
All right, listen, I'm most famous for one thing. So, March 12th and 13th, I'm going to be at the Boca Raton New York Comedy Club. Do you work down there? It's a great, Don Siegel and the gang.
I think I've done it years ago.
I'm back there. It's a New York Comedy Club, and Monday night I'm playing and singing 5 of my original songs at Morel's in in Westbury and Long Island. You guys are probably too young. You don't remember a place called My Father's Place.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, this Morel's was started by Epi Epstein.
Oh, good old
But I
Epi.
don't think he's part of it anymore. You know, every place he goes, he's there for a
I
week.
saw a soft white underbelly at my father's place.
Yeah,
that was Blue Oyster
under the
Cult.
viaduct over there.
Yeah, it was great.
But Blue Oyster Cult used to play there, but they didn't want everyone to know, so they went as soft white underbelly.
Do you know Epi is the reason I'm a comedian? Because Epi was such a cheap fuck that my band, I had a terrible band on Long Island. We were 2-piece, 3-piece. We added a piano player, but we were horrible. But people liked us. We were fun. I told jokes. Blah, blah, blah. And when we got to play at My Father's Place, it was a big deal. And we'd tell all our friends and fans, please come to My Father's Place. We'll play My Father's Place. It was like Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
So Epi sandwiched in Gong Show auditions at 7 o'clock. So we could make a couple extra bucks from ABC. And before our show, I'm watching, and I see Richie Minervini and Jim Myers auditioning for the Gong Show. And I'm like, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm as funny as those guys. And I walked up to Minervini. I said, how'd you get to be a comedian? And he says to me, simple. I had cards printed up. And I still have I swear to you, I got it on my website. He hands me the card, a little picture of Betty Boop, and it was Patti Smith's mother was a booker, and he said, you should come over to Dixon's White House Inn. They stayed and watched my band. They loved me, and I went to Dixon's and met Bob Nelson and Eddie Murphy and Minervini, and I became a comedian because of stupid Epi.
Wow.
You know,
My Father's Place, yeah.
And so Morel's is an outshoot of
My Father's Place.
It's called Songs from the Hive, and I'm playing some songs, and that's very exciting for me to get to revisit it's like revisiting an old girlfriend that slammed the door in my face, you know.
I was actually booked in East Side the week it closed. I went there, and now they didn't tell me it was closed. I actually got there, and there was literally a padlock on the door.
Well, you know, they literally came in and took the cash register and the tables and the chairs, the whole thing, you know.
A little weird.
Yeah, there were some issues there. I think that somebody had to check into something.
You know, we used to wash dish. That was the new East Side in Farmingdale. The East Side in Huntington. You know who the dishwasher was? Judd Apatow.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've heard
Honest to God.
He loves stand-up, obviously.
It's great fun.
That's all we talked about when he came in here. I mean, he really...
I would love to meet that guy. What a character.
He was great. He really was.
Have you had Minervini on here? He's a good egg, too. He's
I haven't seen
guy.
Minervini in years. Did he move to Florida?
Yeah.
But, well, he lived in the Carolinas for a while. He's all over the place.
I haven't seen him or Al Romas or any of those guys that were out on, wasn't Romas on Long Island too?
I haven't seen that guy in 20 years. I don't know anything about him. But Minervini and me are still asshole buddies from forever.
Yeah, my friend Adam Ferrara started at East Side,
yeah,
too.
He's a great character.
First gig, he did an open mic thing or a contest that they were holding something and got up there, killed.
When he was very young, we did a roast for somebody, and I had just met him, and I really liked him. You know, the kind of guy. I liked him right away. And I went up and said, you know, they say you are what you eat. You are what you eat. So I guess Adam Ferrara is a cunt. And he went around for a year going, Marlon called me a cunt. That's great. Marlon called me a cunt. You know.
I can see him enjoying that.
We're going to have to remind Adam of that when we see him
exactly.
And you came up with Eddie Murphy, right?
Yeah,
he did some time.
We were just talking about it. He was like 15 years old. And he said, I'm going to be bigger than the Beatles.
He said that.
I'm going to be bigger. I put out an album in like 1979.
Never was.
Before there was even an East Side. I recorded an album at Cinnamon on a cassette. And Eddie came up to me like, right after the East Side opened, he said, Jack, you have an album? I want to have an album. And I said, I'd love to help you, Eddie, but I'm too busy. I got a list of shit like that. You know, mistakes I have made. I should write a book. Mistakes I have made. Sorry, Eddie, too busy.
He owns an island. Eddie Murphy owns an island. Apparently.
Does he?
Yeah, owns an island.
He's still making $50 million a year, I think.
Why are you rubbing it? Jackie doesn't even know where his next
I
meal's
can't get
coming
a
from.
fucking gig, and Eddie Murphy's got that. Fuck you.
Is that story
Jackie's
about
working the island.
Sometimes when I can get the gig.
Is that story about Bob Nelson true? Because Bob, I don't know either. I think I met him once.
He's a great guy.
It really affected him when Eddie went through the roof. Did it affect him badly?
You know, but that's like people saying, "Oh, Jackie wrecked his life when he left the Stern Show." That's the easiest place for people to go. You know, there were the identical triplets: Bob Nelson, Rob Bartlett, and Eddie Murphy. You know, with Eddie being black, that was the laugh that they were the identical triplets. And then they plucked Eddie out. And Rob Bartlett still complains because he told Eddie, hey, they're auditioning people for Saturday Night Live, and Eddie got the gig. But no, especially Nelson. There's nobody nicer than him. He couldn't have been more thrilled for the guy's success.
Okay.
You know, just so easy to say, oh, they're bitter. You know, this guy's bitter about that. This guy's bitter about, you know, please. God, if I was bitter about everybody I knew, you know, I did that movie, Comedy's Dirtiest Dozen. A dozen comedians, and 11 of them got sitcoms. And I'm sitting here talking to fucking Opie and Anthony. You know.
Well, 10 of them. Otto was on that. He didn't get it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Otto.
Yeah.
George got one, though.
How is Otto doing?
He was here the other day. He was great.
Is he good? Is he healthy? Taking care of himself?
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
looks way better.
Yeah, he looks
way
really
better.
good.
Looks like he might have figured
Gained some weight.
some things out, if you know what I mean.
That's good. That's good. He buries me, man. Well, who am I? He buries everybody.
Funny, man.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we're doing a benefit together.
Funny.
In Jersey, he's still fucking hilarious. He's still everything is the same except he's healthier and he's doing
that's
good.
Great. You know, he's that's there's no words. It's just I've always wanted to do a documentary on him, and I told him, and he was even into it, and but I don't have any funds. I don't got any, I'm like everybody. If I only knew somebody with some money, I could make a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like, please.
His house, he's got an amazing Otto in his place in Keensburg. He's got like an amazing bunch of photos from his whole career, from when he was 7 years old, performing, from when he was 10, in front of the fucking, in front of the building that's in the King of Comedy, which is now the Paramount building,
right.
Or it might be the MTV building, doing street comedy. And
the mops are stabbing his hand.
Yeah.
yeah.
He had Lennon threw money in his hat one time in Central Park. John Lennon watched him perform. He's got the best stories.
How come nobody's made a documentary of him yet?
Why? Because he didn't show up. They said we're going to start filming it. And he's like, you're not as kind. And they went, all right, sorry. Let's sabotage this. Fuck you.
I actually gave him a line. I gave him a line, and he used it in Comedy's Dirtiest Dozen. It's one of the, all the millions of jokes I ever wrote for Howard. I was so thrilled because Kenny? Holy fuck! How are you, man?
Wait, Jackie.
He's our bitch now.
Wait, Jackie, he was the one that dragged Bobo out. You didn't notice?
Yeah. Oh, was that you?
Yeah.
You security guard bastard. This is Club Soda Kenny for anybody who's paying attention.
Oh, yeah.
What, did you used to work for Stern, Kenny? Or
No, Dice.
Oh, right.
A little Dice action.
Yeah.
Who's coming back next week?
I didn't mean to interrupt your story.
Oh, Kenny, why don't you?
What? You
why don't you
probably
sit down,
bailed me out of
Kenny?
a bad story. Sit down with
Yeah,
in the
why don't you sit
retard
down,
chair,
Kenny?
Kenny.
That's appropriate
in the retard chair.
That is appropriate for Kenny.
Kenny, got any good Jackie stories?
I love Jack.
Hold on, I got to get another mic.
Oh, why would the mic work?
Why is the mic off when somebody says they love me, Opie?
I don't know.
That was pretty convenient, wasn't it?
But it's Kenny, he'll say it
Me
again.
and Jackie used to spend a lot of time together at Rascals in West Orange.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was
Belly up to
that
the
was
bar
maybe
like
the
two
best
men.
club.
Like two men.
Like
Yeah.
Like two men, a couple of
Yeah.
men.
Jackie, he'd be down there, he'd
Chasing
fill the
hooies.
room and give away his T-shirts, but nobody could stump him, but he'd give away the T-shirts
Anyway, he was nice about it.
Yeah.
You know who did the best job of breaking my butt? In 1979, I made an album. So I had albums. Nobody had, in those days, nobody had them. And I'm down in Fort Lauderdale. And I used to, at the end of the show, I used to stand there in the bar. And people would buy my albums for $5 a piece, but nobody else sold anything. It was unheard of. And the comedians would break my balls. And at the end of the night, they'd say, wait a minute. He's got an extra $50 to go out. And all of a sudden it's like, wait, that's not so funny. It's great fun to have the stuff to sell. And I completely forgot. I'm old now, and I completely forgot the point. So Sinbad. I used to be on the road with Sinbad, and Sinbad called the Stern Show years later, and he goes, "Yeah, I remember working with Jackie. He was always by the door selling his knick-knacks." I thought it was the greatest name for CDs and shit. Knick-knacks.
It was great to have extra cash, though, right? At the end of the first week.
Right. The first time I worked at Pips, my album had just come out, and I worked at Pips. And the first show, I sold 15 albums. So I had $75, and I probably got $40 for the gig. And I was like, this is the smartest thing I ever did. This is great. I never sold that many albums again, ever. I must have had such verve because it was brand new. I must have done such a sales pitch because I sold 2 or 1. And that first night I sold 15. I was like, well, I'm going to be fucking rich. Never happened again.
And you can still buy his knickknacks at jokeland.com.
Thank you very much for coming in.
Kenny!
I'll tell you claim to fame, Norton. I worked at Pips, had a great weekend, I thought. It's Brooklyn, and I'm coming from Oyster Bay, so it was a 6-beer ride. So I was fried by the time I got there. Forget by the end of the second show, I never got asked back. And like 10 years later, I meet Freddie, what's his name? Freddie Stoller. And he goes, oh, it's nice to meet you. God, I always wanted to meet the guy that got banned from Pips for drinking too much. I mean, the place is fucking coke and heroin, and now everybody's out of their mind. And I was banned because I was too big a drinker. I wish they had told me. What a badge of honor.
Yeah.
You know, how drunk do you have to be to get banned from Pips?
Yeah, they used Otto for years, and Otto was known to party. And fucking Rodney came from Pips, and Rodney was a fucking partier.
And I'd rather have him say that than say I wasn't funny. You know, maybe I was drunk and not funny, you know.
Yeah, really.
We loved Rodney, too, man. We got to have him on the show near the end there.
But growing up watching him, you never realized he was a partier.
Oh, yeah. We had him on.
I would have loved
Well, yeah, I was on the road with him. I was on the road with him for a week. Well, actually 2 weeks. And I'm still not only telling stories, but sometimes when I'm telling the stories those 2 weeks, a new one. So much happened in 2 weeks because every time he opened his mouth, it was funny.
Yeah. He was a partier,
You want to hear the funniest thing I ever heard him say? He did a show and, you know, blew the house away at the Aladdin, and he comes off and he goes, oh, come on, you know, I'm so depressed. I said, no, wait a minute. How could you blow a room away in Las Vegas? They loved you. You destroyed them for an hour. How could you be depressed? He goes, it's like eating a broad. You know, what's in it for me? Holy crap. I never got used to that. It's like eating a broad. What good is it for me? Is that the greatest? I mean,
that's all right. And he probably meant it, too.
There was no irony, no humor. No, he was talking fact.
Wow. That's why I think he was so great in Natural Born Killers, because everybody got this silly side, then you got to see that fucking crazy,
that dark.
Yeah.
He was in Natural Born Killers?
Yeah, he was the father.
He was the father.
Rodney was the father. He was Mallory's father.
Wow,
in the
right.
sitcom.
The abusive father, yeah.
Yeah, go up and take a bath for daddy. It was just
you know what? When I was with him, he had just filmed Caddyshack, because in the middle of the Las Vegas run, he had to run to Los Angeles, do the reaction shots. And then I said to him years later, I said, Jesus Christ, Caddyshack, you know, it looked like you guys snorted coke before every take. He says, you know why? Because we snorted coke before every take. True story. The other funniest thing you ever said, you know, it's the fact that it's not funny and he's just talking that made him so. When I first went away with him, when I went to meet him in his apartment, I said, listen, you just have to know, I'm going to laugh every time you open your mouth, and I'm not sucking your cock. You have always been my hero. I didn't say all this to him, but he's always been my hero, and he's funny. That voice it's just fucking funny. And we're in Fort Lauderdale at Easter time, and we're walking along. Now, you know what the beach is like in Fort Lauderdale at Easter time. And he wasn't that crazy famous yet. He had just started doing the Miller Beer commercials. He's like, Jesus Christ, I've been doing this shit for so long, and now the whole fucking world knows who I am from those stupid commercials. Because you get so much more exposure. It's not Johnny Carson once every 4 months. Right?
Yeah, sure.
But they hadn't really started to hit that much yet. And we're walking along, and there's all these beautiful girls. And he actually said out loud, he turned to me, he goes, don't you wish you could just fuck anybody you wanted? I said, yes, but I've never thought that was necessary to say it out loud. You know, don't you wish you could just fuck anybody you wanted?
Yeah, he fucking Rodney's a weird case, because he made it like he's a guy doing comedy for all these years, and then he drops out and he goes back to his gig and comes back and makes it when he's older. I mean, at least he came back.
It was a classic.
Where did he drop out? What did he go back
I
to?
think he wasn't making it.
He wasn't doing well, and he had a wife and 2 kids that he had to support.
He hit in the 40s.
Aluminum siding.
He sold aluminum siding for 12 years in Jersey.
When did he come back? He came back when he was like 49 or something?
He came back when he was like 40.
Oh, 40, okay.
From 28 to 40, he was out. But you know who reinserted him into show business? And of all the bullshit you've ever heard, King Broder is the guy who reinserted. Do you know who King Broder is?
I know the name.
He's the guy who sued Eddie Murphy. Because he signed up all the comedians. You know, you bet on every horse in the race, and Eddie Murphy, you know.
Right.
And he earned it. But he took Rodney around, and, you know, and Rodney actually put it in his book. You know, and it's like, and he jumped back in, and he used to say, you know, I got Sullivan before I had no respect, you know.
Was he still, did he do Sullivan before he dropped out or after he came back?
I think when he got back, I don't think he did Sullivan before he dropped out, but he didn't have I Get No Respect immediately.
I heard he got that from, I think from George at Pips, right? Yeah.
The story with that was that Georgie Starr, who was George from Pips, I guess had a whole thing in his act. He had an act, and he was an Italian, and he insisted on respect. He wanted respect. You got to respect me. And I think Rodney flipped that and said, you know, and he liked the respect angle. So it was one of those gray areas. You know, who took what, or was it fine? And
you guys deal with that gray area a lot.
Oh, there's so much. Yeah. Because that's all there is, you know, and there's nothing new. You know, I don't make any bones. I tell old jokes. People say, hey, do you write these? I say, I write the lines, and I'm as funny. You know, I for 15 years, Howard was reading stuff off the paper that he didn't even pre-read. It's coming out of my head into his mouth. And that's not old jokes. That's as fresh as it could fucking be. But I tell old jokes, and they're from everywhere.
And for a long time, people didn't know that Howard was reading your stuff.
And who cared? You know. Well, I didn't care. My whole thing was just pay me. Well, I just want to get paid. I don't want somebody to say, hey, you know.
I mean, that's nice of you, but I think most people would care. Like, you know, that.
Well, it's like Carson's writers. You know, he's not going to tell a joke and say, hey, Eddie Smith gave me that. You know, who gives a fuck?
People finally start realizing, which I think, all I'm saying is it must have felt good when people finally start realizing, oh my God, Jackie's feeding a lot of this stuff when the TV show hit, and then you could see you in the corner, like, doing your thing.
Let me tell you.
I'm not trying to, like...
No,
I'm just trying...
This is all old stuff, but...
Okay.
In the very beginning, nobody knew Robin was black. I mean, it was so funny. People used to come and say, I heard Robin is black. Is that true? I mean, this is way in the beginning.
Oh, yeah, way.
But I worked for him for free for 3 years. And slowly but surely, I started handing him little pieces of snippets of paper and stuff. And just one day a week, you know, coming in. And I loved it because I was getting promoted, you know, somebody on NBC AM telling the world where I'm going to be. I mean, that's invaluable. And I used to go on once a week and bring comedians with me. And there was so many comedians that say, hey, what's it pay? I'm not coming. And to this day, they're like, I can't believe
dummies,
I said no.
Right? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we go to mornings, and he says, I want you to do your thing with the notes. So I'm passing him notes, and nobody knows it. And I don't know whether it had been a month, a year, whatever it had been. But nobody really knows. It's not that we're hiding it. It's just kind of like a thing that, you know, nobody ever said, hey, Robin's black. It's like, you know.
Right.
So.
Everyone was cool with it.
I think this is the most fun story. So Robin says, oh, yeah, there's an oldies quiz. And the people from Congress really had a tough time with the oldies quiz because they didn't know the answers, and people thought that the congressmen would know more about the United States. And Howard said, well, Robin, give me the rock and roll quiz. So, of course, you know, we're all sitting there, and she starts asking him questions. And as he's asking, you know, we're cheating and giving him the answers. They know, I know oldies, you know, I was a musician, blah, blah, blah. And so she goes, what are some of the hits by Gary U.S. Bonds? Now, you guys probably aren't old enough, but Gary U.S. Bonds, who ironically has become a very good friend of mine, had a huge hit in the 60s called Quarter to Three. Don't you know that I dance till 2:45. My mama and Daddy G. You know, it's a classic dance song. So she goes, what are some of the songs by Gary U.S. Bonds? And I wrote in digital 2:45 and put it up. And Howard goes, 2:45, and Fred, I got it on tape. You got to hear it. Fred, no! And we start screaming. Robin's screaming. I'm screaming. We're laughing. And Howard's like, what's going on? Because he had no fucking idea. What's going on with it? And she goes, and Fred goes, it's 2:45. And he goes, you jerk. He says, if you're going to cheat, at least. And I'm, in my mind, I was like, now the whole world knows that I'm writing.
Right.
Nobody had any idea. Nobody put it together. They thought he was just being funny. Is that a classic? Is that a classic?
Yeah. String of Peloponnese.
Right. Wow.
I did not mean to come in here and hijack the show.
Good, please. We were honestly we were having kind of a.
Were you listening to the
show
hour
today,
before you got here?
Yeah, you should come in at 9.
I don't listen to this shit. March 12th and 13th, New York Comedy Club in Boca Raton, and Morel's on Monday. I got to call Sid. Do you know Sid Rosenberg? I got to call him today.
I used to love that guy.
He's a great character. I got to call him because he's in Miami and he's going to help me.
He's the only guy that has blown up more spots than me and Ant, so that's why we love the guy.
I actually never, March 12 and 13 in Florida, I would actually go to that, but I'll be in Chicago.
Yeah, I know.
At Zany's, 2 different places. See, I like to whore my plugs too. I just fucking chop them whenever I can. You got it.
Do you work at the Wells Street?
No, I do one night in Vernon Hills and one night in,
Wells Street is too small of a club for Jim.
Oh. That is in Chicago. What's the other one? Vernon Hills and...
Kenny. That wasn't nice.
St. Charles.
No, it's only 100 feet. It's just...
I love Zany's.
I've done that room. I used to love going on a Thursday and doing a show there. It's a fucking great club.
You know that used to be a whorehouse.
No.
You know? Oh, that's a great... It was a whorehouse, and they kept getting busted. So Rick made it a bookstore, a dirty bookstore with, I guess, a rub and tug in the back.
Right.
But Rick got so tired of jumping out the window when the cops came that he made it into a comedy club.
Fuck this.
Nobody knows that. Now, have you ever
Wow.
gone upstairs in Zany's? I don't know what it's like now, but upstairs the walls are velvet. It was a whorehouse. Oh, Rick Hewitt's a pisser, man.
I've been upstairs.
Me and Larry
office,
Reeve had hookers up there. I gave the hookers Stump the Joke Man T-shirts. I always wanted to go back to Chicago and be walking down the street and see a hooker in the Stump the Joke Man shirt. I would have died and went to heaven.
You gave me one. I worked at you one time many years ago. It was just one show in a theater, and everybody's like, he's not going to let you curse. And you were very nice to me. All you said was, look, just do me a favor, don't say cunt. And then I went out and had a good show, and you threw me a shirt. It was like the Mean Joe Green.
You know, I tell people, I tell the bookers, I never want to tell a comedian what to do, ever. But I tell the bookers, don't put somebody dirty in front of me any more than you'd put 2 ventriloquists on the same bill. Fuck, cunt, fart, shit, now here's Jackie. Makes no sense. That was the whole idea.
I like women in front of me. I like a woman who's funny opening for me.
I never like it when they say, this is going to be a dirty show. It's like, by the time I come on, if there's been 5 dirty comics before me, I'm like...
Absolutely.
I actually got pulled off shows 2 weeks ago. I was opening for this comic, and he didn't want me, so he yanked me off the show.
In the middle of the shows?
I did one night.
Well, who's the comic?
Danny Boy.
Danny Boy. I'll tell you something.
Because you were too funny?
No, because Danny Boy is better looking than him. No. Actually, no, you're better looking than Danny Boy. Danny Boy's whole thing is that he's good looking. No. And you just top-trumped the little fuck.
He was sucking wind the whole time after. And
Google the fuck.
Supposedly, I was too edgy of a comic.
Really?
But we know what that means.
No,
fucking Jefferies is digging you, man.
No,
He's fucking digging you.
No, Google him. I'm telling you.
Google it.
Danny Boy, man. He's this good-looking Scottish lad, and he's half Indian, and so he's just,
Stop, I'm getting a hard on.
Sounds dishy.
Listen, we got Ron and Fez next. We got to get out of here for them.
Guys, thank you so much for inviting me in. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Of course. And what a delight to see you, you big fucking idiot.
Long time coming, Jackie. You got to do this again with us.
And we want you lose my phone number, you piece of shit? What am I?
I do have your number.
Okay. 516-922.
And now that I know that it goes to my brother's restaurant.
9463. What? I'm working in Dix Hills on April 23rd. I bring the whole crowd from Dix Hills to your brother's restaurant.
All right, I'll give you an appetizer.
And the least they could do is he won't even keep the kitchen open. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's his name? Bob? Bill?
Brett. He's not like that usually. He must have something
making it up. I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't even know if I ever met him.
And I got $500 to give away. I feel like we should give it to Jackie.
That's not the worst idea I ever heard.
What do we do with this? Fuse meetings, $500. Can I give it to him? I guess he's an employee, so maybe that wouldn't be good.
Can we give
You're
it to
technically
Bobo?
an employee, Jackie.
You suck.
All right. $500 from FuseMeeting.com. We'll give to a random caller right now. Do we have to read that? Brought to you by Fuse Meeting. Hold hassle-free meetings online. For a free account, visit us at FuseMeeting.com/OP. It's Fuse with a Z.
Hold on, let me get my cell phone out so I can call it.
FuseMeeting.com/OP, OPIE. Must be at least 18 years old and a listener or a subscriber to enter, blah, blah, blah. Not open to residents of Alaska, Hawaii, or Canada, or Jackie the Joke Man.
Ow!
So we'll give that to a random caller. Jackie, this was awesome.
Anytime. Now I know what it's like behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Nice. It's a pleasure to meet you, characters.
And we'll do it again. And Jim Jefferies, Caroline's this weekend. You'll need help with that.
At Caroline.
It was all great except for Norton saying that Zany's too small for him. I don't need that.
No, that was Kenny's excuse for me because they won't put me in the Chicago room. They think I'm more of a suburban act.
That was the
they
bit
don't trust me in the city.
That was the bit that upset you, not the retard being dragged out by his arm. That wasn't.
We all forgot about that.
God, that seems like so long. That was, and I didn't even really see it. The door was kind of open. I just saw a little, like a leg go by.
Did that scare you? You seemed a little. You seen it all though, Jack. Yeah,
it was just hysterical.
Right,
it was hysterical because he was dragged. He was on the floor being dragged.
Here's Bobo.
He's back.
See, he's okay. See.
Hey, Bobo.
Bobo's okay. Bobo's all right. See?
Well, that's some handshake. I'm glad you didn't hurt me.
I'm sorry about that. I'm a little bit drunk from that bit before.
All right, that's
Jackie understands how that is.
Yeah.
Well, I was just doing a bit.
He's talking. Nobody's listening.
No, that's
Thank you, guys.
All right, Jackie the Joke Man and Colin Kane. Great first appearance on the Opie and Anthony show. We'll see Colin again as well.
Thanks for having me.
And he's helping out Jim Jefferies at Caroline's too. So
he's actually carrying most of the show, to be honest with you.
Is that it?
Yeah, I was drunk the whole time.
You were great. All right, guys, have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. 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 Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.